Why? Hello there, and welcome back to Pathfinder. Doing good stuff, checking out the clan summit, and everyone's just having a great, wonderful time. Definitely not getting killed and or dying in any horribly excruciating ways. Oh, hello. We just finished the LaGrave's obstacle course. You guys scored quite well. Pats on heads to everyone. Oh, yeah, duh. Ha 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 ha. Click button. God. I don't know where the game assumes I'm going to hand out a very particular amount of experience. I'm not really sure why. Oh, maybe it's adding up all the NPCs on the map. You know, if that's the case, that's actually kind of cool. I don't want to do that. But that would make sense numbers-wise. It's the number's so high. It's like 1,000. I'm like, why? Where's that coming from?
Yeah, sure, give it to me. Give me all the XP from all the people on the map. We totally killed them.
Definitely. Everyone here is dead. All right, 80 experience for everybody, and add yourself a hero point, please and thank you. Alrighty, there isn't much in terms of recap besides, yeah, you guys had a lot of running. A lot of tomfoolery with soap. But there's one more location to go to, and after that will be your final chance to pick up the pocket. And then dinner will be mostly ready, so Vega, if you wanted to make your scene, that would be your choice.
I was gonna ask Feli if she wants to help out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you guys do let her know essentially when you're shooting to do it. Yeah, her and her people that are here, they will attempt to, whatever you guys do, they'll take your loudness as a sign. Whatever your group decides to do, she will play along.
That was a good suggestion.
That's what I hear from.
Alrighty, so what are we doing?
There was one more thing here, right, for us to do?
Games with the Leshies!
Yes. Like, I think I also wanted to ask Feli if she knew the dwarf that was talking to us.
Yeah, the one that just randomly walked up.
The one that randomly walked up?
You can most definitely do that. Would you be doing that now or sometime later?
I mean, while we're there, I guess.
Okay. We'll pretend like our tokens are back over yonder. And with your whole group here, she definitely has time to chit-chat. And you, I guess you bring him up, thinking to herself, she's not 100% sure who you're talking about, as you sort of describe him and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, he gave us his name, right?
Yes. After you give the name, she spends a good hot second thinking, and then kind of just peters out with, no, I'm not 100% sure. Not anyone that I personally know, at least.
Interesting. I mean, he seemed to know the clans.
At that, she'll, kind of laugh. There's a lot of people here. Like, there are easily in the thousands. I mean, easily, yeah.
More on a personal level, I guess, but...
Yeah, and I mean, there are plenty of spurned folk. We've heard of some brawls already, breaking out where they tend to stop them relatively early before too much blood to shed, of course. But some people are trying to get revengeance for various deeds. So
yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. Other than that, she's not really 100% sure, unfortunately.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't, I don't know, raise trouble, I guess.
Oh, I mean, at that, there's already plenty of trouble being raised, especially when people have played said games and said games have played them, and there are other booths, of course. We're not going to really bother with those. There are, as you mentioned, there are smaller auctions occurring right now. There's are really a lot just kind of going on, but it's, just the general vibe. Trying to keep it chill, though, to the best ability.
No.
She will definitely, she'll definitely keep a lookout, though, and she'll tell hubby. He's not here currently. He's still back home, but she'll tell hubby, just in case.
Knows him.
Yeah, possibly. And as the group moves on over to the Leshies, you all know that basically after a certain point, yes, the current clan leaders are indeed, here and present, but they will be moving off to speak with, I believe I said her name was Six Iron Seers? I think, yes. Who's the current, clan leader. So they're going to have the actual summit part. This is just speaking with friends and such, and potential lovers and enemies and things of that nature. But as your group kind of moves on over, you see Narcissus speaking with someone. You see some other Leshies kind of doing their thing. And this whole area, they're seated in front of a giant boat, very similar to the one that the LaGraves brought on over. This one is overgrowing with various plantery. There's flowers and such, vines pouring out of the windows and such. You're not sure if they wrote it here like that, or if that was, dressing on top. Who knows? But it seems some groups are coming out a little dejected. Some are being not necessarily yelled at, but, idiot, you did it wrong, blah, blah, blah. Did we not give you instructions? No one's dead, of course, or missing any limbs, but there's some folk that came out relatively bloody. And after all that, your group kind of moves on up. Narcissus turns to you all and says, "Well, I don't think I recognize your group. Who are y'all representing?"
I mean, technically myself, but
Myself.
Perfect. Well, first time I've seen your beautiful faces. Are we here for the... People keep calling it an obstacle course because unfortunately we're pressed back here. But no, 'tis not. 'Tis definitely not. More of a maze, one might say, yes? And he smiles very widely, just all teeth.
I'm not enthusiastically.
Excellent.
I see which way this is going. I like
They
it already.
they adjust their fluffy mushroom. What is that called? Their mushroom neck fluff, basically.
The frill?
Mushroom neck.
Frill, yeah, frill works. And they look
frill.
Yeah, they look your group up and down and kind of nod. Like, all right, you guys look pretty good and, less drunk and stupid than the last group. Well, as is tradition with most of these little games that we throw out there, ours is different in more ways than one. You'll see that, well, you won't necessarily need brute force to get through the obstacles that we have laid out before you.
I look disappointed.
You can use brute force, but I would not recommend it.
Keep talking.
Well, realistically, that's it. I just need you to, if you are, hand me your bid now, and we'll see how things play out on the other side, yes?
Did you just say bid?
Bid, B-I-D, money, money, money.
As in bet?
Yes.
Yes.
You can do this for fun, of course. I don't need your money.
Wait, okay, what are we betting against?
It's the same thing as usual. Depending on how well you do, you'll make money in the end. If you do poorly, I keep your cash.
This isn't a brain game, right?
A little.
It's a maze.
Everything is somewhat of a brain game. What's your name, by the way?
Vega.
Vega, everything is somewhat of a brain game. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Life is a brain game.
Precisely. Climbing a rock wall is somewhat of a brain game. You don't just shove your fist into the stone and climb.
I mean, I can if I'm feeling lazy.
This is quite true. You're not wrong. Well, unless we need anything else.
I bid 2 gold.
Oh, all right then. And how about the two of you?
Yeah, same.
Sure, and I'll do 2 as well.
2 gold each. Perfect. If you do well, you'll double your money. If you do very poorly, well, we'll give you a stern talking to and take your gold. We'll waste your time and your money. That's not great for anyone. Please, be respectful, but have fun, yes? And they turn and sort of open a drapery that is very viney and motion for your group to head on in.
I'll go in.
As your group heads on in, you can sort of hear Narcissus giggle to themselves as they run around. You guys saw outside there's a set of stairs that kind of go around the boat, most likely for a location for Narcissus to look in and watch as you guys are kind of all having your fun in there. And the first room, as we basically head down to the my brain is not working below deck. As we head below deck, you are met with the first room. You cannot see to the other side because there are vines hanging from the ceiling. You guys have about 5 feet or so before you actually come to this literal vine wall. From left to right, all the way down to the floor, there are vines. Hundreds and thousands of them. You have no idea how long or wide this room actually is. What do y'all do?
What is the goal here?
The goal is to get
I would
out.
like to recall knowledge of vines.
Sure. Roll me nature.
That's terrible.
Would anyone else like to also look at these beautiful vines?
I would, yes.
I'll see if they look special in any way, see if they do something weird. Or if
Can
they're
I-
just vines.
Can I test them for like climbability or
Okay.
movability?
Yes.
Sure. You gonna roll an 11 as well? Join the party?
What am I doing? Nature?
Nature, correct. Of course. Oh, you're trained in nature. Okay. Nice. All right, with a 16. As you guys are kind of looking at the vines, it's a little dark down here, so maybe it takes you an extra second to identify precisely what you're looking at. Precisely. Jesus, my brain is working today. Vega, something inside you says, these are definitely special vines with special names. I cannot recall the name of said vine, but there's definitely something to it. When you said climbability, you don't need to. There's no pit. You can see the floor. But looking at said vines, are you just looking or touching?
Touch.
Okay. How do you touch the vine?
She licks them.
Are they on the ground?
They are vines dangling from the ceiling all the way to the floor.
I'm just gonna go out and reach one then.
All right, you go out to reach for a vine carefully, I assume.
Semi.
Okay. You're now a truck.
I'm waiting for it to reach back.
I am too. Yes, yes.
Well, yes, it does just that. Not violently, but as you reach out, Vega, it too reaches out. Very limply, as you're not really too close to it. It sort of flops as if, a jolt has suddenly shot through it. And not just one. I mentioned they are very tightly packed. A lot of them do just this. As you get close, it kind of reaches for you.
Oh, hum.
So, of course, besides the roll, you guys can tell me that you try things. The roll will just let you know something about them. Vega, I will say, after you see this display with your 16, you know that you've seen something like this in nature, in the wilds before. There are vines out there that are very well known to like certain things and dislike other things. You get a feeling that these ones don't want to be touched violently, or, obviously, no vine wants to be chopped up, so that's definitely a big flaming red X. But you notice you move slowly, and it moves slowly in return.
Maybe if you shake, it's fine. Firm. Really introduce yourself.
Can I gently move closer?
You may. Are you guys discussing anything while this is happening? Are we just reaching for vines?
Vegas I just reach.
I guess I'm just watching at this point, see how it reacts, but...
Okay. As you're all doing that, you walk towards it, Vega, slowly, and they all kind of almost like a rug being whipped out. Just whoop, whoop, kind of moving towards you once again. Not violently, but definitely moving towards you.
And we can't go around, right?
There is no around.
Okay, are they like reaching or trying to like smack away?
They gyrate towards you ever so slightly.
Let's see if it likes heat, I guess. How am I going to do this question?
I mean, my body heat is already kind of answering that, isn't it?
Yeah, but we don't know if it's like your body heat or if it's, I don't know, sensing your life force. Or maybe it just likes your hair or something, I don't know. The smell.
As you're all kind of discussing this, you notice some in the distance also begin to wiggle, very much like not as violently as Mr., arm flailing tube man, but very similar. They're all kind of jiggling, but only ones that are local to you. I'd say about 10 feet from where you're all standing.
What are they up to?
They're wiggling.
Like towards us or away from us or?
Wiggling in general. The second you stop talking, they stop wiggling.
Oh, as in they like sound?
Possibly.
They didn't say anything about no magic, right?
You can do whatever you want, but you know what their general credo is, so...
Don't try to hurt them, at least, I guess.
No, I was gonna do this. And just I don't know, throw like a mouse squeaking sound, just off in the distance a bit, see what they do.
Sure, just a mouse squeaking?
A loud mouse, yeah.
Cheap.
As the loud mouse kind of does his little cheep, 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 cheep. I don't know what kind of mouse that was for sure. It...
No,
Perfect.
that's music, can't have that.
Exactly.
Not allowed.
So your chi mouse is sort of doing its thing, and the vines in that area sort of begin to wiggle, but because it is, just a mouse making mouse noises, they don't violently attack it. They don't really move to jump toward it or anything. You just sort of see them wiggling in place.
All right, now I want to do it again, but I want to make it like someone screaming.
Okay. You do that somewhere far away from you guys, I assume?
I have 30 feet range on
Sure.
it.
You shoot that sucker out, and they start going wild, just whipping and snapping at the area.
It's just the ones around the sound?
The ones around the sound specifically start going wild. If were this a proximity effect, as I mentioned, it's really hard to see because it's literally as thick as you can possibly get of just vines going out, all hanging from the ceiling. But the area that you can see, those are going crazy. As the sound dissipates, the movement dissipates from just wiggling to nothing at all.
All right.
Can I
just
sing
be
one of
quiet,
my
basically.
worship songs?
You very much can, yes.
I mean, I think it's more so that, if you're in a dark cave and you start screaming, they're going to attack you.
Probably.
That is definitely the case.
The song I choose is slow and soothing.
As you begin to...
I'll try to jam my hand into the mess of tentacles.
Before she
See
starts
how they
singing or
react.
after?
I mean, during, I guess. See how
Okay.
they react.
When you say...
Slowly, of course. But
Okay, I would say jam is violent.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to...
All right, you put your hand out slowly as Vega begins to sing, and as she does, the wiggling is slower than before, almost as if it's like a rippling water. As the sound and music begins to travel from you, Vega, you go to reach out for these vines, Arbalest, and they move away from the sound, not you, and they just kind of move out and almost part away in a 15, 20-foot like sphere around where Vega is singing, and they're swaying very softly to this music.
All right, keep singing. Let's go.
I will.
I will try to sing with her and probably be bad at it.
Just keep it soft and you'll be fine.
You better roll high in your performance check, otherwise we're dead.
As you guys move forward and continue your song, you're able to, from what you can tell, move through untouched. In fact, they're pretty far away from you to the point where it'd actually be difficult to touch them. They make way for you, Vega, and as you guys move in, you're essentially in this like pocket bubble of just sound as all the vines are wriggling and writhing above and around you all. As you continue to walk forward, it's still a little difficult to see where precisely you're going, but walking straight seems to be smart, and you do indeed reach the other side, where you can see a door and the back wall, and about 5 or so feet of clearing away from said vines.
Let's open the door.
Alrighty, as you open the next door, it slopes down ever so slightly. Not enough to make you trip, of course. And this next room seems to be completely pitch black dark. As the door closes behind you, any light that was coming from the room prior is now entirely gone.
All right. Bull lantern, go.
All right, as you whip that out, you guys can see just up ahead, there's about 10 feet or so of a decline that instantly meets with what seems to be a bog. There are, once again, some vines hanging from the ceiling, but most of these aren't really touching down. Lots of just really thick growths and such. If you guys didn't know you were in a ship, you might assume you're in a cave or something. Whatever growth and something they have growing down here is quite thick and very, very stagnant. The smell smacks you in the face almost instantly. Now that you can see, you notice that this bog area doesn't go on for too long. It's about, let's say, like 20 or so feet. And past that, the ground, which is still a bit boggy, but clearly not as thick and or deep, begins to slope upwards to where you guys can fairly clearly, when you move your bow lantern up, see a door.
Well, that's far too simple.
How wide is it?
I may say about 30 feet wide, maybe 40. A lot of plants and such, very thick vegetation.
Ooh. Some difficult terrain, you might say.
One might say.
Is there anything in the bog?
Do you mean animals?
Animals and stepping stools.
There are no stepping stools. It looks like just pure mud mush from here to the incline.
That sounds like a knob that you can see answer.
What about life?
Moving around the light, you don't see any animals or plants that move and react to you. There are indeed some plants. They seem rather nondescript and just part of the bog.
Were you about to hit them,
Make
Kane?
another scream again.
All right,
You could.
Just keep screaming.
Yeah, as you fire off the scream, it echoes in this rather small room, but fortunately some of the vegetation and slop absorbs it from ricocheting too much. But after the screaming finishes, you hear nothing. Except for the constant internal screaming that resides purely in your mind.
Oh, you didn't have to remind me.
That screaming is far too loud. Anyway, slowly make my way, I guess.
All right, just shooting on forward,
Slowly walk.
making your way downtown.
The vines in the ceiling are too low to grab, right? Sorry, too high to grab?
Do you want to Tarzan away?
Yeah, I might.
They're not necessarily too high to grab, but you're not sure if they would sustain your weight. You can most definitely try.
Like, is there any, I guess, path that is slightly more manageable to walk over?
Difficult to tell. Roll me survival. In fact, here, let's make this nice and easy.
Let me press the button.
Everyone do survival and see if you can...
Wow. My rolls are great today again. It's literally a net 1. I drown, apparently.
Oh, that's a critical failure?
Yep.
Oh, it didn't mark it as red. Interesting. All right, I cannot read your die at all, but 9's not very great. Wait, do you roll a natural 9? You have nothing in survival, Vega?
She has 2.
Excellent. So, oh yeah, right, wisdom. Your sword wisdom.
Luckily, Kane is good at it.
Yes, Kane rolled a 21, and you think you see a solid path, Arbalist, but before you can commit to it, Kane indeed stops you. There's something not great about that path. You're getting horrible vibes, Kane. You're not entirely sure, but as you guys kind of adjust and watch it for just a moment, you see some bubbles come up in that direction, and some of the slop seems to sink in ever so slightly and then bubble back up. Moving to the left a bit, you guys see probably a better path amongst the slop.
I don't like that you're calling it slop.
No problem. You look up, though, and you actually sort of notice on the ceiling, Kane, there's a certain flower or plant that's actually growing along the ceiling in a really unique pattern. It difficult to see until Arbalest points it out with his bowl lantern, but you can tell that this pattern starts where you guys are standing and kind of corkscrew grows its way over to the other side. Not a straight line.
I guess I'll start following the flowers if that was like a path for us to the end.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah. I mean, is it unique enough for me to save, and can I try to nature check, see what it is, or is it just like colorful?
I will let you decide if you want to roll nature or if you just want to remember. Your choice. Your amnesia makes free checks a little weird. I would say normally you just remember, but it's up to you.
I mean, if it's distinct enough that I would remember, probably yes. After like a moment of, wait, what?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, it takes you a second, but you do notice that these plants tend to grow, well, near other plants. And these particular plants, they'll grow like effectively like within a group. They nourish each other. And the ceiling is not low, but it's low enough that where the goop not here, you might be able to reach the ceiling. But obviously, as you guys step into the mud, your feet sink not up to your knee, but about halfway up to your calf. But you can feel that you have a very solid footing. It's a little springy, but it's still solid. You remember, Arbalest, that this flower likes to grow near a very particular plant. So, looking upward, seeing the path that leads you, they most likely lined the bottom of this area with the plant that it likes to grow near, so they just kind of grew downward like that.
Good eyes, Kane. Good eyes.
So the plant that likes is on the floor?
Yeah, they're essentially buddy plants. So you got the flowers in the ceiling and the buddy plant on the floor.
All right.
And with that, your group is able to move through with relative ease. It's slow.
That's interesting.
A little goopy. You think maybe you feel something run up against the skin of your leg? Something swimming through the water. You're not entirely sure. It's not really water. It really is closer to just mush. And as you guys...
would I have any memory of what the body plants... Like, if there's any animals that hate that stuff?
I would say there probably are. Maybe they're not a fan of the smell of the flower in particular. Not necessarily pungent, it just doesn't work for their nose.
Yeah, okay.
And as your group moves forward, you get past the bog portion, and up ahead of you, you see a somewhat manageable incline. It is still covered in this goop. It almost looks like it's seeping like up through the ground in some odd way, like it's cycling. But you can see this whole area is slick with it. It goes up about 10, 15 feet of incline, and then you can see the door up ahead.
I'll try climbing up.
Okay, just going to straight up go for it.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
Someone needs to make it up if we want to use a rope, so.
I'll go and roll me athletics.
This is fine.
Roll more than a 5, please.
What do you mean?
Nope.
An 8 is more than
one.
An 8 is more than a 5.
Yeah, but still
Would
net 1,
inside
so
ropes help me here?
technically yes, because you get a +1, right, for climbing?
You use the guts as 50 feet of rope to help you climb, and they help attach you to a wall.
The second part, yes, I would. If they were normal ropes, definitely not. There's nowhere to hook them onto. You'd be carrying extra weight, basically.
I do think technically you have to attach them to something, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, so you have obviously nothing to attach them to. But if they help you stick to the wall, then go ahead and give yourself a +1 on that. Well, you can't just click and I'll give you a +1. 22, excellent. All right, cool.
These rolls are kind of sus.
Let
me reset my luck for a second. Give me a sec.
Kane paid me before today's session.
You're welcome.
Oh
With all the money that I'm just rolling in.
yeah, 100%. All right, as we puke a bunch of d20s onto the table. I like how the man net fail just burns. It's a funny effect. Your group
Good.
begins climbing up, and both Arbalest and Vega, you guys struggle to find a foothold. It's you're getting up, but you don't fall back into the goop. But real slowly, you kind of slide back and then try again, slide back. But Kane,
I'm having to carry Flint up.
yeah, he's not really doing the best, unfortunately. And Kane, you find a way to kind of half climb, half stick your ropes to the side of the wall, which is a little gooey, but not as gooey as your inside ropes. So you use your outside ropes to kind of like whip them against the wall and pull yourself up, and like whip them against the wall, then pull yourself up, and you eventually end up at the top. Inside ropes definitely should stay inside, about 15 feet, not far.
I will throw my inside ropes down for everyone else to climb up.
All right, as you toss them down, it takes an extra second of feign dangling. Realistically, if you wanted to, you could tie them to the doorknob or something up here that's door related, as it opens with ease, and you're able to pull your two allies up to join you. Only slightly messier now. All right, as you swing open the next door, Stink in tow, you all look up ahead, and once again, very similar to the other room with all the vines, you cannot see the walls to the left and to the right. Primarily because, if you didn't know any better, you were somehow transported from the inside of the ship straight into the forest. You see thick foliage, there's a fog, sort of a mist rolling through, ground covered in, just a nice springy grass. Smells a lot less here, that's nice. Actually, once you close the door behind you, it's actually quite pleasant.
Flint piece against tree.
Excellent. The tree, I almost said the P is now treed on. The opposite of that.
Yes, the P is now treed on. Okay.
Indeed. Next to said tree is a rather large kind of moon-shaped rock, like crescent-shaped. And other than that, you guys aren't really sure which direction necessarily to go in from here. Like I mentioned, it looks like you could legitimately turn right and just kind of keep walking.
It's not that simple.
It never is. I mean, you could try following the wall if you want.
Sure.
You take the left side, I'll take the right.
Why not?
All right, as you guys head out and try to find the wall and follow it, you find tree after bush after stone, and they do seem to be sort of turning. Some of the trees get a bit thicker and tighter, so you can't really go through them, past them, that is. You're not really sure if the wall is past that, as you think, oh, it's definitely they're trying to prevent you from touching it. You look around the trees, and you just see more trees and rocks and stones. And after a second of you guys kind of just moving around trying to follow them, the two of you end up together again, sans Vega.
No door?
No door. You guys are looking around and there's just trees around you.
All right, then let's find the actual door, I guess. It's got to be somewhere. Maybe in a tree or on the ground, or maybe in a tree.
Yeah. Start inspecting trees.
Yeah, I guess I'll search.
Just looking for trees, basically?
Yeah.
I will
Flint, go sniff the ground, I guess.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me perception. Starting to look around and see if there's any tomfoolery going on here. With a 21, 19, and 25. Wow, very nice.
I've gotten 3 21s in a row.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Be good at these rolls.
Pretty sure they have different modifiers too, so just keep rolling 21s. Keep at it. I believe in you.
I'm fine with that.
Indeed. Your group begins to look around, and it seems as if there's maybe a glamour cast on some of these trees. So it looks like it goes on forever, but in reality, you might just be seeing onto the other side and somehow get weirdly turned around and end up back where you are. In fact, you guys can kind of slowly backstep from where you currently are, and you eventually find Vega, who has been checking out the opening area just past the door, not going any further than this crescent stone, and you see her checking out the stone and looking at this general area. From what you can tell, the only stand-out item in here is the stone. You haven't found any rocks that are this large, and just tons and tons of trees and bushes. So there's something here that's making you guys get turned around.
All right. I mean, does a crescent stone mean anything?
Not to your knowledge.
Magic rock.
It feels like a way stone, like a way marker.
Rock. Right? Does it point anywhere?
It looks like it's pointing, like the tip of the crescent. It seems to be pointing to the door that you guys came from.
I mean, I'll try the door we came from, I guess.
You're back to this, back to the stinky bog, yeah.
Nope. Close it.
Something you do notice, because you did roll so damn well, Vega, 25, is this rock doesn't seem as sturdy as you would assume it to be.
Can you re-describe the rock?
It is just a large crescent-shaped rock. It comes up to about your shoulder. It is currently pointing at the door that you guys came from.
Does the rock spin?
As you begin to kind of mess with the rock, you realize it actually spins quite easily.
Where does it stop?
It doesn't really seem to stop, actually. It's not like mechanically attached to the ground. It is just a rock on top of dirt and grass, and you can basically turn it freely.
Does it feel like a rock?
Oh, it very much feels like a rock, yes. As you begin to turn with this big boy, it takes a second. It's still a little heavy. After turning it to a certain point, you do notice the tree that you're next to kind of has a branch coming out that prevents the rock from turning any further. So it sort of just stops after turning, I don't know, let's say like 100 or so degrees, 120 degrees.
Did anything happen?
I mean, follow the direction of the rock, right? It's pointing somewhere else now.
Yeah, sure, you most definitely can. You all head that way?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
As your group just heads straight on forward, it seems as if you are taking the exact same path as you did before for both Arbalist and Kane, but after a moment, you push through a clearing, similar to how you did before, just to meet each other, but this time, on the other side, you are met with a door.
Open the door.
As you open the door, you're not met with a nasty, stinky bog room. In fact, this room is very, very similar to the one that you just entered and left. The only primary difference is it's more open. You can actually see the walls here. You can see all the plant and algae, moss growing up the side of the walls.
Dry land algae.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? The main thing you notice, impossible to miss. There's a very large Feed Me Seymour boy sitting across the room, just sitting there next to the door.
Really?
Feed me, Seymour.
Yes. Does not seem to notice you all entering.
Can we
Recall knowledge, nature.
Who are you?
and
What
can
is
we
your name?
can we see the exit from here?
Oh yeah, it's positioned directly next to the exit.
Wow, I'm back to rolling shit. Okay, it's gotta be one of those days, I guess.
Watch me roll another 21.
I swear to God. Okay, you have to stop the
Sometimes
21s.
this game.
Your 20s are so mean. Alrighty. So, less cursed this time around, fortunately. Upon looking at this great plant, you notice that it is possibly sleeping right now. It's just sort of chilling and relaxing. It's quite limp. Looking at it, though, Kane, you realize very quickly that, yes, this plant does not currently mean you harm, but were you to come up to it, provoked, unprovoked, you do know that they tend to snap out quickly, purely based on instinct. Whether they bite, they slap, they grab, they can be violent. But you do know that there is indeed a way to get around them. If you feed them ahead of time, or offer them something, they tend to become more relaxed, placid, and most likely will let you pass.
This plant's been eating a lot today. Do you have anything to feed it?
Flynn hides behind Arbalist.
Flint.
Yeah, he hides behind Arbalist.
I mean, I have a bunch of rations on it.
I guess it's a trying.
Do you think plants like holy water?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
All right, I guess I'll feed it some rations. Raciones.
All right, how do you decide to feed it? You just tossing it or leaving it on the ground?
I mean, have we seen a door like where we need to exit at this point? Or
Yeah, it's right next to the door.
Okay. I guess I'll put it down on the other side of the door, so that it's busy not looking at the door.
Sure. As you begin to approach, the plant very quickly stirs, but pauses
Toss it over.
as it watches. You give it a toss. It looks down at the ration, and very quickly a vine shoots out, nabs it, throws it in its mouth, chew, 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 and just kind of long tongue, and just leaves it on the floor.
No, okay.
And now
Do we know what kind of food this plant likes?
now it's looking at you expectantly. Vega, as Kane was checking out the plant, we'll say with a 16, you were kind of looking around the room, and you notice there are these like bauble-looking plants, very similar to, I guess, like a dandelion, but rather than growing the little, happy lion boy, it's very, it almost looks like they produce like a honey or some sort of sap that grows up into like a bubble and then just stops, and it's cupped by 3 large leaves. You see these off in the corner, and you notice a couple have been picked already.
I'll go pick one.
Okay. As you pick one, a somewhat sickly sweet smell comes up to greet you.
Do I recognize the smell?
It smells pretty good, honestly.
Does it smell like a plant would like it?
You're not a plant, but maybe.
All right, I'll toss it to the plant.
All right. Since it is currently awake, as you toss it over to the plant, its tongue this time shoots out and he Yoshis it into his mouth. And after sort of, it was relatively small. Blop, 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 blop. Moves it around a bit and sort of nods approvingly, like, yeah, I like that. Okay. And now it's like slapping the ground with its vines.
Can I attempt to approach the door?
I'm going to stealth past him.
You're just going to move stealth past him as he's watching?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
As Vega is feeding him, I guess.
Yeah, go and roll me stealth. Are you feeding it more, Vega, or are you...
Sure, I'll feed it one more.
Okay. As you move over to feed it another one, it looks expectedly towards you, Vega. And as it's doing so, Arbalest, you're very easily, with a 17, able to slowly sneak on by, flint in tow. You get to the door, you can turn it without issue, slowly open it, and you can flip over to the other side with the door already creaked, meaning it'll be easier for your allies to get in after you. You begin to move on over with the food. And Kane, what are you doing?
I kind of want to sneak with Arbalest.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Stealth.
All right, with the 23, you're able to follow his path without any issue whatsoever and get on in there. As it's eating the second one, Vega tossed it. And as you throw in a third Vega, it very happily just starts like shoveling it into its mouth and just... And it seems very distracted consuming this plant.
Well, I want to give it the third one as I walk out.
Sure. And as you kind of toss one more to it as you're walking out, one of its vines shoots out and snaps out of the air, and it slowly just like a lollipop, just pulls the top off and drops the stem and just sits there enjoying what you left it. You can hear it very sloppily eating behind you as you move through the door.
It's going to be a fat plant by the time this day's over.
Plants get fat?
Sure.
As you guys are discussing plants getting fat, you can hear Narcissus laughing outside. And they turn to your group as, besides a small mudroom, if you will, you guys are a little stinky. Narcissus meets you upon opening a door after sliding down a little like a banister, and they look very happy at you all. Says, wonderful, you didn't murder anything. I appreciate that. Good job, group.
So how'd we do?
You did fantastically. Congratulations. I have the goods for you, of course. Would you like a spraying?
Sorry, a what?
Sure.
Wonderful. Narcissus turns and these two leshies pop up with something. You're not really sure what it is. It's rather dark in this room, but they kind of flip around the corner and they're holding this large sack-looking plant thing that tapers off into a point, and they just squeeze them and they just spray water all over the three of you. Just whoop, whoop, whoop. And you guys are just soaked head to toe, but you're no longer mucked. So not bad, not bad.
It's not stinky either, right?
Not stinky, neither. No, you smell much better. Flint kind of
excellent.
Intercepts some of the spray, and he gets that dog wash on and starts shaking himself off. And Narcissus claps. So, wonderful, very good show from the three of you. If you would follow me outside, sans your stink, of course.
Yeah. Where's my money?
Ooh, where's my money? Where's my money? Well, fortunately, if you didn't remove any of the cash from your pockets, digitally, I mean, well, if you did remove some, add 4. If you didn't, add 2. You all did smashingly well. You didn't get stuck. You didn't break anything. You didn't waste my time, and I didn't waste yours.
Thank you. I'm feeling pretty proud of myself right now.
I'm guessing the games weren't too kind to you today, Vega.
Not that smart one. Ugh.
Oh,
Or the
yes,
other
yes.
Then again, all they wanted was information.
Suki does tend to be a bit of a trickster. She does have that going on, but nice otherwise. Speaking of Suki, I actually have to get going now. All of us clan heads need to meet up with Six Eye and Sears and have a little chit-chat. You're, of course, more than welcome to run through again, but obviously, no money this time. We'll be keeping an eye on you.
All right, later.
Have a good one, have a good one. It was a pleasure meeting you all. And Narcissus turns and sort of tips their mushroom-esque hat as they turn to walk away to said summit. And you see some of the leshies, one's like a little pumpkin gourd, and they're like cheering you on like, hell yeah, good job.
Well, that's all the games for today. Well, actually, we still have one to go, don't we?
No, that was it.
That was all of them, yeah.
No,
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 except
the
pickpocketing.
yeah, the pickpocket one.
Yes. That is somewhat separate, but indeed. So, how we're 3 of 4. This is basically going to be the last chance to succeed at this bonus game. Who is going to be actually pickpocketing? So the last one's going to have to be a thievery check or something along those lines. And once again, 2 people can help, always. Only one is taken, of course. So who's going to be leading this operation?
King.
I wonder why it's me. Why aren't you guys good with your hands? Come on.
I'm good with my eyes. I'm going
Because
to
of
intimidate
backstory
everyone.
reasons that you don't know about yet.
Okay. Just gotta be quick with your fingers.
I'm quick with my fists. Does that count?
No, not at all.
Damn
I
it.
mean, I'm quick enough with
Not
my
even a little
fingers.
bit.
It just feels wrong. Why did I
Just
move?
a thievery roll.
Yes, I would say go ahead and open with a thievery roll and then see if they even can help. Realistically, this is taking all the information that you guys have gathered from the first 3 rolls, and then depending on his outcome, holy shit, a 26. Would
I got it.
would one of you like to assist with that for bonus reasons?
Sure. Let me. What's your thievery waifu?
Not thievery. You guys
Yeah,
are assisting.
I'm going to be an
Isn't that
intimidator.
a thievery as well?
Nope, anything.
Okay.
You would be like looking out for people that it might be, I guess.
I could do that.
And then
What
waifu
is
can
mine?
distract them with intimidation.
That does work.
Now watch me roll.
I'm going to do the 2-finger eyeball to eyeball thing.
Oh, look,
Oh
it's
my
an almost
God.
crit.
All right, 26, 25, 28. Hold up. What happens when you crit an aid? Is it +2?
Yeah, you got a +2.
Holy shit. Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
28 then.
Nice. All right, so that brings your 26 to indeed a 28. Vega, you intimidate and do your thing, and Arliss points out the people that are best intimidated. And while you're doing that, you guys think that you probably knocked off some folk that were, trying their best to also participate in this game, but with your guys' subterfuge and Vega's less than subterfuge. Well, not necessarily necessary. I love how it shrinks every single time, you little turd. Be the size I want you to be. Nice and beefy. All right, with that, Kane, you're kind of moving around. You guys have picked many pockets. You've seen many individuals. You know who not to pick. You know that, as prior, the Suki's people moving around probably aren't dressed appropriately. That would make too much sense. But, would making too much sense actually be a smarter play? Who knows? But you do eventually find someone who is actually dressed like another clan. Colors and everything. Oh, maybe not too obvious, but maybe you see some faults in their clothing or something. Maybe they don't look as roughed up as they should. Clothes are slightly too new. As you swing on by, Kane, with now your critical success, you're able to kind of pull out a nice red ticket and very quickly stash it in your pocket. No one has seen it. They didn't even notice.
Perfect. And then we have to go bring it to them for it?
Yep, you basically bring it to Suki, and she will bequeath you something nice.
I kind of want to sneak it into her pocket.
That would be very difficult, but you can definitely try.
Magic tape, pull it from behind her ear.
Or I could do that. Just do like a magic trick, pull it from behind her ear.
Okay. Do you want to?
What's that
not
behind your
magic
ear?
trick.
You basically want to try try doing that before she heads off to the meeting?
Sure, why not?
All right. You can most definitely try.
Walk up to her, just be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then be like, "Oh, hey, look, there's something right here," and just go to like brush something off of her shoulder, and just try to pull it out.
Alrighty. She
As you
seems
do.
happy to see you again. You did pretty good in the test, and she's assuming she knows why you're here again. So go ahead, and I believe it's just thievery again for that. I think thievery is anything with touching and whatnot.
I mean, it could be performance.
Please, not performance.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's better with thievery.
I have a +0 on performance.
I don't think anyone ever takes performance unless they're a bard.
For the most part, performance is really good for making money too, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
So as you kind of, do all this dog and pony show, you're trying to pull it from behind her bird ear, apparently. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah.
As you do, she's sort of watching, like, okay. And right before you pull the trick off, she, right, like when you go to grab, you're beginning to reach out for her ear. She sort of points at your ear and turns her head to the ear that you're going for and goes like, Sorry, did you say something?
I said you had something right here.
Oh, and she, as you go to kind of like reach out again, maybe trying to distract her, she turns back far too quickly. And rather than you being your hand being where you'd like it to be, she's shifted her body and flown up a bit and has presented her claw precisely where your hand would have placed it behind her ear.
No.
And she smiles widely at that, takes the ticket, turns it in her hands, looks at it a bit, holds up to the light and goes, Ooh, this is the real deal. You found yours quite quickly. Congratulations.
Had a little bit of help.
Well, that was all part of the deal, so congratulations to you, good friend. You'll get your choice of multiple items, and I might throw in a little extra something just to be nice, yes?
Sounds good.
All right, I'm going to throw some things at you. You let me know which one you want. You can have one of those. All right, Trinity Geode or a basically better Healer's Tools. For how much?
Healer's Tools gets a +1.
Yeah, for how many words are there? It's a +1 item bonus, basically.
I mean, the other one is basically a free cast once per day, or is it?
I don't really have Earth spells, so I think Healer Tools is the best one for me.
I mean, you get the spell for free in this case. Like, if you have it, you
Uh,
can cast it, I think.
Oh, it gives you a spell. Okay.
Yeah, or you can have it on your
Uh,
armor and you get something else.
Sure, we'll go
Like,
for
like
the
spell
Geode.
hearts are very useful, I guess, but...
Yes, once you have it, you get scatter scree. I almost called it spree. It's a cantrip, so you can just cast it infinitely, basically. So effectively, it's a free cantrip, plus you can put it on your armor or your weapon. If you put it in your armor, you get +1 resistance to all physical damage until the end of your next. Oh, wait, what's up? After you. Oh, after
Whenever you
after.
cast
after you
it,
cast it, yeah.
Sorry, when you cast the Earth spell, which it does give you one, you get 1 physical reduction. You won't put it in your weapon, obviously, so won't bother reading that one. But that is up to you. That or the Healer's Tools.
I'll just take the
I mean,
Geode.
weapon also counts staves, I think.
Yeah, but he's not going to attack anybody, I don't think.
True.
I mean, I could.
You could, I just don't see it happening. Yeah, you don't even have to, attune to this thing. You just kind of have it.
No, it doesn't
I'm fine with
have
that.
invest, so no.
Yeah, you don't need to invest in it.
Like, the only downside is that you can't have it together with a talisman. Because it is technically a talisman, I think.
I mean, if it doesn't end up being used for a while, it is worth a bit of money.
Side note, I guess, to update on the Spirit Sealing Fulu, because it doesn't say the word talisman on it, it only takes 1 action to put it on something.
Oh, okay, so that's how it works.
Yeah, so there are higher tier Fulus that do indeed require 10 minutes to affix, but this one, you can slap it on them, run up and just slap in the face with it, basically.
Nice.
Pretty dope. Also, on top of that, okay, I think you guys are maxed out on hero points. I was going to say add...
I'm not.
Okay, cool. Then add 1 for completing the pickpocketing. Excellent. You'll also get some extra experience.
Hey, Kane, you can re-roll your feint. Or your sleight of hands for free.
I mean, I'm not going to, but I will roll it to see what I could have gotten. Nice.
Yeah, slightly better.
Alrighty, first and foremost, I'm going to give you guys the experience from completing the Mish, basically dealing with Narcissus, and then a little extra boost for getting this bad boy. Y'all get 50 experience. Auto assign. Nice! Alrighty, and then the extra thing she was going to throw your way. We'll say you came here first. There we go. She gives you a booster pack.
Let's
Ooh,
go.
useful.
With 5 cards. Basically, you can cast... this one is Detect Magic. 5 Detect Magics, basically.
Okay.
Useful.
And I believe that should be effectively it for all the games. And also for the pickpocketing nonsense. So you guys know the dinner is coming up after they meet with their little discussion. So now y'all can plan what you're going to do next.
I can't remember. Did we figure out where it was?
We think we know where it is, but...
Oh, right, in that other back room.
Yeah. So Kane is going to go up there. Were we going through a window, I guess, yeah?
The window's probably easy. He'll need help climbing, though.
Yeah, I mean, I can help him up with that.
What
But
do you mean?
it's probably not the...
climb?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be useful anyway if we have at least 2 people helping there. But it would be weird if, like, our entire party was missing from the...
Yeah, that's what I was
Lunch.
thinking.
Yeah. So I can leave Flint behind with you, and you can make a ruckus, I guess.
All right, I'll go get drunk. Blow a whistle so Flint can hear if you need help, I guess.
I'm sure I have a specific whistle for Flint to help me.
All right, so what... Obviously, Kane's going to do the business. What precisely are you doing, Arbalist?
I will be the lookout for him, I guess. Like, help him get in, and then I'll stand guard. And I don't know, help cover tracks. That's a thing, right?
Yes, definitely. So, effectively, Vega, you're going to be not in control of Flint, but trusting Flint because you guys are going to be pretty far apart.
Yeah.
I mean, I would tell him to, help out Vega.
Of course, yeah. So Flint
Do
will
what
do
she says.
everything he
Make a
possibly
point.
can in order to assist with Vega. So your plan is just to get drunk and be loud, basically?
Yeah.
And Faylee will also be helping you.
Yes. So basically, once you guys start doing the thing you're going to start doing, Faylee effectively said, yeah, I'll help y'all. Alrighty, is the plan essentially to just go straight in? So you can't go through a window to get to the second floor? Is that basically what you're going for?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to go through the bar, because then we'll get spotted for sure.
Okay. You guys do know that there's definitely a window that will get straight to the second floor from one of the rooms, 100%.
Like,
Guess
is
we'll
it
go
going to
in
be
there.
like from an alleyway, or is it like straight in front of the road?
For this one, we'll say it's convenient enough for you to move through the alley and scoot through one of the windows so that no one can see you effectively. So for getting up there, you basically wanted to help him climb initially, then move back to keep a lookout effectively?
Yeah,
All right. I'm assuming you're going to be using your ropes to climb?
I assume so,
Of
yeah.
course. My
Mainly
inside
because
ropes.
I forgot to buy a grappling hook, so...
Alrighty, excellent, good sir. Well, go ahead and roll me, surprise, surprise, an athletics check with a +1 from your rope, because you guys have time to set up. Alrighty, with a 16, you're able to shimmy up without any issue, any slop or, unsightliness left behind by Kane. You're able to relatively fix with ease, Arbalist. And moving around, Kane, you do hear that there are a few people moving about the bar, but there are very, very, very few. As you look around, you can see that Kincaid's door is currently closed. You can basically ignore all the tokens, by the way.
Well,
Yeah,
I want to look around the corner. Obviously, there's tokens there, but is there actually anyone there?
There are a few. To get by completely unseen, you'll need to roll stealth. Or you can do something to distract them. Your choice.
I can use my ghost sound to make it sound like someone's screaming under them.
Screaming specifically?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Go
It's a lot
ahead.
of screaming today.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me stealth anyway. We'll kind of combine the two.
So,
Stealthily screaming.
All right, 18. This person is not deep in their cups, but they want to be. And as they begin to travel there, suddenly a very loud screaming just ends up coming under me. It's just go, and just they were focused on something and clearly start panicking and they get out of their chair, they start looking around, and you, Kane, can use this as your cue, along with the loud screaming, to sneak on into his room. You notice
assuming
that
it's locked.
you notice the outside door is indeed unlocked, actually.
Okay, I'm gonna go in and very slowly close it.
They don't seem to notice, but you hear something outside of like, what the hell are you yelling about? And then they're trying to they've spilled beer everywhere, so you can hear them through the window specifically that's in Kincaid's office. You can technically see them if you want to kind of peek around. You can very easily hear them. He's complaining, I just cleaned here. We're not even partying right now and you made a mess. Oh, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. So they're kind of doing their thing. And no one's in Kincaid's office.
Is there any blinds I can close on the window?
Yes. You do know that if you wanted to move by without, I guess, alerting anyone, you can crawl, technically. No one will see through the windows. They are just windows.
Okay. I guess I will just crawl around where anyone would see me.
Okay. If you climb, yeah, on the walls like a weirdo. If you crawl near the window, you know there
You can learn spider climb at this level, right?
Yeah, sure, why not? You don't know that you have more than enough time to crawl along the floor to get on over to the back door, which is of similar build and quality to the one you just walked through, but upon closer inspection, it is very well locked.
Oh, good.
Oh, I would have given Kane the potion of fleeing, by the way.
Well, it's a good thing I just... Oh, no, I don't have to use the thing right now. I can just cast Detect Magic itself to see if there's anything coming off the door.
You most definitely can. You have that as a prepared cantrip already, right?
Yeah.
Perfect,
I can
okay.
unprepare it next time, but I can't
Excellent.
get rid of it yet.
All right, well, the one that you currently have prepared, as you cast, you do not sense magic near you, as in the immediate proximity, but you do sense something beyond the door.
Okay. I guess I'll try to just lockpick it a bit.
Okay. As mentioned before, it's a rather complicated lock. You can definitely tell that.
I doubt I can smash it.
It's a
I don't
very
think I have
meaty
anything else to
boy.
help. I think I just have to go for the lock. Or is there like a gap under the door?
No, this thing seems all sealed up tight.
Okay. Well, then I have to lockpick it. I can't really do anything else.
I believe.
I'm assuming there's like no vents or anything anywhere else.
Nope, not that you can see.
All right, lockpicking it is.
This back room is definitely overprotected. There's no magic though.
That makes sense. I will just go for thievery roll.
Holy shit, 23. Okay. With that,
Yeah,
what are you
that's
worried
not-
about?
it does indeed take you a moment, but you're able to get this heavy lock just gunk, and it's only loud unlatching, but the door swings open very satisfyingly. It was wedged into this door frame quite well. You do find some craftsmen put this door together for Kincaid, and as it swings open, you see before you Kincaid's room. There's a bed, rug, various tables and such, and past that you see what seems to be another door, and next to it, kind of covering the door actually, is a bookcase.
Okay, I will go over here and use detect magic again, just in case.
As you detect magic, you sense nothing behind you, but you definitely sense something in front of you.
Like coming from the bookcase, or I
Probably,
forget how specific it is.
probably from past the bookcase. If you use it near the bookcase, it comes from beyond again.
Okay. I'm assuming this door is also locked.
But this door is also definitely locked, of same build and quality. But you notice there's something slightly different about the keyway. It looks more particular. You can definitely pick this one, but something strikes you as off about it.
Being, for reasons I will not say, kind of good at lock picking, have I seen any lock like it?
You definitely have. People tend to, unsurprisingly, hide their valuables behind locks like these. Sometimes they will go off, and you've seen Kincaid in the past. Not frequently. We'll say pretty frequently. There are traps, violent traps associated with locks like these. If one were to mess up, you don't know if it would just be sound or pain, but something bad will happen.
Or pain and sound?
Pain and sound, yeah, possibly.
What about a painful
Is there
sound?
is there usually like alternate ways to open it, or is it just locked?
You can lockpick. They tend to be lockpick resistant, but they have particular keys made for them. It is said that these keys cannot be copied for whatever reason. They are of amazing build and quality. There's something in them that shifts that cannot really be seen from the outside and only really activates upon entering the keyway and then being turned. That's what makes the pick so hard to pick.
Okay, and that's like the only way I know that these doors open is that there's no like secret key around the door that I can use, like no switch.
Not really,
I would
no.
know.
The one of the downsides to doors like these is if someone steals your key or if you lose it, you're not getting back in.
Cool. I don't know if I want to mess with that, but I mean, I could try.
You have a hero point. You can't fail, right?
That's not how that works. I've been rolling too well today. It's gonna go wrong right here when it actually matters.
I gave you the potion of retreat. You can run away real quick.
I mean, I'll look around the room, see if there's anything else that I can find and mess with.
Sure,
Maybe
go and
take
go and roll me perception.
blind. I'm always blind. There it is.
Before Kincaid is the kind that keeps the key next to the door.
Okay.
Like under his bed.
So, as you begin to look around, you find what you kind of expect to of Kincaid. You find some of his favorite alcohol. You find some cigars. He's got a couple hidden knives that you almost prick yourself on. But as you're sort of looking about, you're picking at the books, picking at sheets, pillow, all that nonsense. You see a location that looks as if it would fit that little music box he had, the silver boy with the wonderful hippocampus just kind of chilling there. And as you're kind of messing with the books and such, the gap seems almost too... It's odd. It stands out to you. So as you spend some time to look around here, and this whole process will take about 10 minutes or so, but you definitely have time. You're kind of checking, you're doing your thing, and whether it be dumb luck or potentially super, who knows, you find that his box should probably be here. The lockbox should probably be here. But instead, it looks as if, you just joked about a second ago, Arbalist, he accidentally left the key in a false book next to it. You don't know if this is a copy or something else, but he probably meant to take the key with him and instead took the lockbox.
Okay.
But as you flip it open, yeah, there's the key.
I will grab the key, I guess.
It's relatively heavy. You can kind of feel something shift within it ever so slightly as you pick it up.
So this is the key to the door, not lockbox.
Yeah, you've seen these keys before. This is definitely to the door. You know that when it's inserted, the key has to be held perfectly at, horizontally, I guess, to where you're currently standing, as there's something in it that when you turn it engages. If you're tilting the key forward or backwards, it tends to mess with that process.
Okay, well, knowing that, I will hold it as perfectly as I can to unlock the door.
All right, and as you do that, the door does indeed click very satisfyingly open. It almost clicks twice, essentially. Ignore those stairs, by the way. And back here, you do see a collection of things. You, Kane, can tell of the collection various weapons. He has potentially parts, not like, heads or anything, but you see like a finger or two of someone, most likely, that he has kept on various displays. He has a shirt that has like a jagged cut out of it that's hung up on a wall. Some more books back here, things of that nature. Plenty of weapons and backup firearms and such. Whatever he had on his like wrist, that like fire mechanism, that thing. Literally, firearm. Ha ha ha. So besides all that, you see like a glass case. And in that glass case is precisely what you have come here for.
I'm assuming it is locked.
I mean, I assume Faker gave you the box, right?
Yes, you have the box.
Wait, what box?
The box that will automatically suck up the boy, regardless of what's in its way, as long as you get close enough.
Automatically suck up the boy.
Yep, the boy sucking box. So
I don't know why this has left my brain, but
Specifically designed to suck the boy.
I don't remember this box at all, but I'll just, just go with it.
All good. It's been a few sessions since you've spoken with Arthur, so that makes sense. But yes, it does not seem to be locked. It's basically on a display case. You could pull the top up. This particular little asteroid meteor, I forgot what the distinction is, but there's a stone metal pyramid under it that has little hunks of metal coming out of it, reaching up towards the little meteor, and it's floating, just hovering and slightly spinning in place, almost as if it's being held by this thing. It seems as, however he got this, he's at least smart enough not to just leave it on the floor or, leave it in a box or touch it. So.
Okay, well, I will go over there and open the box that I have, I guess.
Okay, you pull off the glass case on top first, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That'd be horrible if you didn't. So you pull that bad boy off, you whip out the box, and as mentioned before, the box is about the size of like a large orange. It's pretty small. As you present it forward, though, you do know that you need to feed it basically some magical force. No spell slots or anything, but you gotta stir it, wake it up and let it know, hey, time to do your job. And as you do that, you can feel it stir within your hands. Something within the box shifts, and it jolts away from you a few inches, now hovering in front of your hands. As it does, it flips similar to a Rubik's Cube, just click, 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 click. It stops clicking, and then the corners of the box, all 8 of them, kind of shoot outward as the middle section of the box sort of like fragments outwards and leaves a section for something to be deposited within. As that happens, this meteor, the stone from the sky, slowly is pulled towards you, very, very slowly. And as it is, those little cubes and like fractals that broke off, slowly surrounding it and protecting this wonderful crystal. And as it's pulled in, a false one is pushed out. Upon close inspection, you can probably tell the difference, but assuming he doesn't look at this thing every single day, he should not be able to tell the difference. And as the new one hovers forward, it begins to float in place just like the old one did. You replace the glass on top of that very easily. There's no tricks or traps to this. He assumed no one would come back here. And after a second, I mentioned before, this specific Skystone is quite large. It's not like soccer ball sized. It's like a large grapefruit, definitely bigger than the box. But the box somehow shrinks and compresses whatever is inside it spatially and snaps shut. You're able to catch it before it hits the floor, and it begins to glow and hum ever so slightly in your hands.
Okay, well, I'll put the box away again.
Okay.
Was there anything else in here that I could possibly just take? I probably shouldn't.
There's definitely stuff you could
I'm
take if you wanted
expecting you
to.
I mean, I'm not gonna take anything. I'll just leave. I don't
Okay.
want to make it obvious that someone's been here when we put a fake there.
Like, I probably would have told you that, like, when you leave, make sure to check if they left any, what are they called? Like, indicators, I guess, or if the door has been opened.
Oh, I guess, yeah, I should check that.
Looking around, you definitely had a little bit of spare time, Kane. You can quickly determine that no piece of paper fell, no little wedge of, stone or metal, wood. Nothing seems to have been dislodged, fortunately. He was probably hoping that both of these doors would be enough of a barrier to prevent anyone from coming in.
Okay, then I will put his key back where I found it.
Excellent. Door is now locked. He is back right where it should be. Book is shifted upright, and there is space for his box that he definitely meant to bring with him.
See, I'm in his bedroom. I really want to mess with him, but I can't. And it makes me sad.
When you say mess with him, what do you mean?
I don't
Be on
know.
this pillow.
It's like, it's not what I was going to go for, but sure. I don't know. I
Like
might
move
have a
something?
dead rat or
It's
something.
just a prank, bro.
Just like leave a dead rat under his pillow or something. I don't know. I won't, though.
Okay.
Do you have to
I don't
spell
wanna get-
summon dead rat?
I wish. That one's too high level.
Level 10 spell summon dead rat.
Yeah. Then I will try to sneak my way out.
All right, there is somewhat of a ruckus. Not loud, they're not really paying attention to you. But there is some tomfoolery going on up here. So to escape, you'll need one final stealth. Of course, you can do what you will on the way out.
Is there a gap under this door?
Yes.
Small enough for a rat?
Small rat, like a small rat, yeah.
Because I can cast pest form and just turn into a rat and leave.
Sure, you should be able to do that.
Sure, I'll do pest form and become a rat.
I forgot how flat rats are in terms of like, I don't have
Very.
bones. Very? Okay, then you can no bone your way under this door.
They're like cats, they just don't have bones
Yeah.
when they don't want to.
Like, when they're actual, well, I guess it's mice technically. Rats are chunkier, but yeah. But they can squeeze themselves through some pretty
Oh.
damn small holes.
I mean, I can turn into an insect, it says, so I can turn into like a
Yeah.
fly or something.
Oh, that's
Like an ant.
damn.
or a praying mantis, extra flat. So regardless, you can find something nice and flat, nice and not squishable, and quick enough to not get completely flattened. You're able to shoot through the door. You can hear some people blah, 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 to your left, but they are paying obviously no mind to this direction. And just up ahead of you, Kane, you can see the window. Now, you've been in here for a little while. I assume in pest form. Can you understand people? I don't see why not, right?
I would think so. I just
Yeah.
would assume I can't like talk or anything.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Kind of while you're focusing on this, you hear discussion, but it's not about the spilled beer. It's not about the scream. It's more hushed and more worried this time as that's going on. Were you going to say something?
I was reading the spell. It says I get the animal trait. I don't know if that affects anything.
Oh, most likely.
Probably not.
Animals are pretty dumb. But regardless, you can untransform whenever you want, right?
Yeah, I can just dismiss it whenever.
So as you kind of scoop from under this door, we'll just say for all intents and purposes, even if you can't hear what they are saying, you can hear their tone, and it's of legitimate worry as opposed to, damn it, Craig, why'd you spill your beer for the 30th time?
Damn, the 30th time? Craig.
I know.
Chill.
Dude's not doing so hot. So we'll cut back over to the clan summit real quick. Vega, as they are preparing dinner and such, what precisely are you doing to rah shish kumbah? Screaming, drinking?
Screaming and drinking.
Yeah. All of the above.
Excellent. All of the above. As you're just going buck wild and going crazy, they have food and such prepared for you. Faley gets someone from the Legraves family to kind of maybe sing along with you. Like they'll sing a song, and maybe the intentions.
In fact, I'm probably encouraging drinking competitions.
Perfect.
Oh, no,
Perfect.
Is what's his name here?
Who?
The guy we saved from the cave.
Omen?
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Vega's drinking buddy. Starts randomly singing with her. Vega gets even more pissed that he's here drinking.
I might start one fight.
Only one?
Only one.
Excellent.
Because
It's
then I'm
one
sure.
very big fight.
Yeah, and then I'm sure Philly will be like, "Calm down, calm down."
Yeah, she lets it go on for just long enough that it distracts people for precisely as long as we need it to be. So all eyes are towards you. Nobody sees Kane and Arbalest leave. No one really sees any of that nonsense. Faley has already kind of, said commands after they're starting to roll the food out, finger foods and such. Everything smells fantastic. There is an absolute choice of everything. No matter what your eating style is, there is definitely food here for you. And some of it, despite some of these people's shadier backgrounds, a lot of them are fantastic cooks, as you've been made aware with some of the folk that work with the Legraves. And as you're kind of partying and, drinking and singing and arm wrestling and just generally tackling people for shits and giggles and then playing it off like, it was a joke, bro. For the most part, people take it, as such. But I would say after some time, some of the clan leads were supposed to indeed come back, but currently they have not. They were going to announce something, but you're not precisely sure what it was. And while you're kind of having this, party and such, Vega, suddenly in the distance, you both hear and feel something very bassy, like a shockwave, break off from the distance. And it's loud enough and sends a powerful enough shockwave through people to make a couple of the folk that were drinking or screaming or both stop. And suddenly their attention is brought to the north of where we are.
I strain my eyes. What do I see?
As you strain your elven eyes, I tell you what you see.
Someone's having a shonen fight over there.
Indeed.
It's me.
It's Kane somehow.
I'm everywhere.
Kaiju!
Yeah, because you see Godzilla.
Oh no, now there's two of them.
Mothra! Oh no! They're just throwing down. All right. As you kind of look that way, Vega, you see off in the distance where they're supposed to be meeting, there's a somewhat higher point on one of these ships. And you can actually see from this distance, you see the ship itself rock to the right a bit as if something underwater pushed it. And then you can hear some shouting coming off from said distance, and the drinking and partying is still pretty rowdy, but more and more folk are turning to that direction as they hear and feel this shockwave. It happens again. And you get an odd-ish sort of sparkly, tingly feeling in the air, Vega. Your hair begins to stand up ever so slightly. And you notice that other folk notice this as well around you.
I'm going to start shouting, stop, shut up.
It doesn't sound like cannons, right?
In a way, yeah. Minus one telltale part of a cannon, at least.
Okay, because, Arbalest would definitely recognize cannon fire, I guess.
Yeah. So from a distance, Arbalest, it's even harder for you to hear, but were it to be cannon fire, you definitely would have recognized this as cannon fire. And as you tell people around you to, shut up, Vega, more people do, and they kind of begin to meander on over that direction, looking at the boat. And this time, you see... So the boat itself has the deck.
Real quick, is Faley's hubby on the boat?
He's back home. He didn't come here. She came to represent them.
Oh, so she's not here right now.
Correct. All the clan leads are on. So she told people, go buck shit wild. I need to go for a meeting. I'll be back.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So you currently know that all clan leads, including ones you have not met, are currently on boat, including Kincaid, of course. The boat rocks again, and this time, despite the size and the fact that they're all holed up in basically like the main chamber, I guess, for the captain, it's at least a 2-story ordeal on the right side of the ship, or sorry, the back side of the ship. You see the roof of that building explode. It shoots outward, and the roof itself is just jettisoned somewhere else. And you see a figure or something, part of the roof maybe, you're not really sure, shoot upward out of said roof. You then see another dot follow that figure.
And they're too far to tell what it is exactly?
It's most likely a person, but you legit can't tell from this distance. It is a fair while off. They look humanoid in the size and shape, though, I can say that much.
Well, start moving.
Yeah, I'm going to grab Flint and tell him to go find his master. Is the boat in the water, or is there bridges leading to it?
So all the boats are indeed in the water. There are plenty of bridges leading to every single boat, so you can easier access them. This one, though, are you moving towards it to see better?
I would like to, yeah.
Okay, as you move forward, you notice that all the bridges that were connected to this boat, after that rocking, they all got ripped off. They're dangling from off the boat and just hanging in the water.
So if I jumped in the water and swam to the boat, could I climb up it or no?
It will definitely take you some time, but you can 100% do that if you want. full sprint Vega would make it there relative time, with Flint going off to meet Daddy-O.
Yeah, I think I kind of need to go there, if only for your Faylee's sake.
As you see this happening, you just begin sprinting straight to the boat, whether it be alcohol or a sense of duty. You just run, Vega. And as you go flying towards it, you're there in no time because, well, the crowd doesn't want to go towards the boat. You see some looky-loos and rubberneckers kind of looking around, trying to see like what the hell's going on, and only a few people are moving towards said boat. There's a feeling of dread and unease that is leading toward it. And as you look into the water, Vega, you can see a few people have the same idea. And some folk like froze the water, they're running across it. Others are choosing to swim. You notice that Mr. Icy Ice decided to, well, not let it last. That's only good enough for him. But you can most definitely 100% swim. Go ahead and roll me athletics to see if you get there in a timely manner. 27. All right, that's going to be a crit, my friend. You absolutely tear through the water as you hear the boat rock one more time. And as you kind of climb up, looking upward, you can see those figures, wherever they landed, they're most likely no longer on the boat. And you see the various leaders kind of looking around, and some of them look frustrated, coming out of that like main area where they were all presumably meeting. You actually do indeed see Kincaid, and he's kind of holding his head, and you see a lot of blood coming down as he's trying to like stop it. You see Faylee looking at him and like looking at others. She seems to be fine, but some of the clan leads, they're like looking around, talking to others, they're giving commands. It's chaos on the deck of the ship right now.
Oh, good.
Does anyone know what happened? Faylee, where are you?
For the most part, people are ignoring you, and they're primarily sticking to what they are working on right now. As you kind of call out, Faylee looks around a little. Kincaid sits and stretches a bit, moves his hand, it like squirts a bit. He goes, "Oh, okay," and goes back to trying to cover whatever that is up. As he's mumbling to himself, very, very frustrated. Faylee moves on over to you. He says, "Oh, Vega, why are you here? What are you doing?"
Your boat blew up.
Well, not our boat, but yes, we're about to get off it. We don't want to be here. Why are you here? It's dangerous.
I have to protect you, ma'am.
Her look of worry quickly turns to, oh.
I will also rip off, I guess the bottom part of my shirt, whatever, and tie it around Kincaid's head.
Okay, you can primarily tell that he just needs more something to absorb the blood. And he looks up and he goes, "Oh, sweet, thank you." He pulls off and you can see there's a fairly large gash in his head, and he covers it up, says, "This one's a bit of a gusher, isn't it?"
Are you gonna need help swimming back?
I'll be fine, don't you worry yourself none.
All right, don't blame me if you drown.
Oh, die of blood loss, yes, I'll be good.
Come on, Faylee, let's go.
She nods at you, and looking back, you can see some folk are using magic and such to attempt to reattach the bridge so people can walk over. And by this point, they have indeed succeeded in that. So you guys can move back across the bridge. I assume you go that route?
Yeah, and I'm also going to ask her what happened, if she saw anything while we go.
Perfect. As you do that, we're slowly catching up to Kane's timeline, and she just looks... She's trying to catch up to what the hell happened. She says, "Man, I honestly have no idea, Vega. We were discussing what we normally do. Location, territories, deals, things of that nature. Obviously, a lot of this is we're just trying to get people together, more amicable terms. You know what we're about. I guess leaning more towards our way of life. Well, someone didn't seem to agree. We didn't even know he was there for the longest time. He suddenly just spoke up at the table. And when he did, he ignored half of us. He walked up to Six Iron Seers, and while I didn't precisely hear what he said, it sounded like he challenged her."
And then what happened?
"Well, of course, we don't do things like that anymore. You don't just openly challenge the clan head like that. Those are the old ways. We've long moved past that." So she laughed. We all laughed, assuming he was drunk or not being serious. And then, and as you guys have crossed the bridge, she turns and motions to the ceiling of the boat. The boat seems to be fine. They didn't burst down it. That happened. He didn't take too kind to that.
Did you get a look at his face?
Not directly, no, but...
Well, what about a name?
Not a name.
He challenged without offering up his name?
Like I said, we were mid-discussion. It happened so suddenly. We were literally in the middle of finishing signing things off, and apparently that was enough for him. He just stood up. He was a dwarf, it seemed. Not up in his years. I'd say I'm honestly not completely up on my dwarf physiology, but maybe just before middle-aged, I believe. Average height for a dwarf. Very, very stocky man. After he ripped off his cowl, he dove for her. There was like a shockwave, like a crack of lightning, and he went to strike her across the face. Fortunately, she caught it. And then they, well, did that.
Wait, was she the first figure that flew away?
I believe so, yes. He caught her with a second punch. She went straight up through the roof. I'm not even sure. She'll be fine. She's no slouch. And she smiles, but the smile looks a little uneasy.
Are you telling me that the dwarf punched her through the roof?
She nods slowly.
That's a little on average, right?
More than an average, yes.
All right.
We didn't take him seriously until that. But whoever he is, clearly he means business. But for now, Vega, the main thing we need to do is we need to look out for this. Anyone possibly getting hurt. He says something else than mess with some amulet or trinket he was holding on to. I'm not entirely sure what, but I don't know, the air feels heavy for some reason. I'm sure you can feel it too, right?
Yeah, it's like electrified.
Right. And as she says that, you begin to see off in the distance as you guys are kind of walking and heading back towards the town now, and she's trying to find other folk from the Legraves family, and it's like, hey, let's all get together. It's not safe on these bridges. If they come back wherever they currently are, shit's gonna get rough really quick. And as you come down this way, Vega, you guys are almost near the primary bridge that leads back to Barrowwain. Suddenly, that odd feeling culminates into what you see before you. You saw it a few times in the distance upon walking this direction, but a very hazy, almost as if there's a heat wave passing by. You saw a few of them, but they dissipated. Now, though, rather than dissipating, it seems to swirl and grow, and as it does, it almost seems as if there's a tear in front of you, and space just opens up. Beyond it, you feel and see fire, heat, lava, just intense weather comes pouring through this tear.
Can I assume this is the fire realm?
Yes, that would make the most logical sense. And as you think that, you do know things of this nature have indeed happened before. There are various incursions. This is a very strange place for it to happen, though. This is not a fire-attuned area, so it doesn't really make sense that this would be occurring here. Normally, water, wind, things of that nature. We are indeed near a lake, nowhere near a volcano or anything like that. And as it happens, the tear is not large, but you see these small winged beasts fly out, and with just like glazed over eyes, they seem to be frothing mad. They fly through this rift and instantly begin tackling into various folk. They catch them. People are already on edge, so weapons are already drawn. You see one is shot with a crossbow. The person's beginning to reload as they're tackled by one. Someone moves out with an axe to assist them. You see Phaley's eyes light up. She looks to you, Vega, and says, "Where are your friends?"
They're on their way.
Are you sure about that?
I sent Flint to get them.
You might want to meet them halfway. We'll try to handle things here.
All right, I'll be right back.
Whatever you do, just stay safe. And you see her give very quick commands to about 4 people that are nearby as you dash back off. And then now cutting back to you, Mr. Sir, Mr. Kane.
Mr. Sir.
Mr. Sir, you hear from the outside and the inside some shouting coming from the distance. And let's see, you guys would have jumped in through, we'll say on this side down here. I'll put you right over yonder. And then your girl will be coming from the north with the dog boy. We'll say dog boy is already where he needs to be. And you hear panicked folk. You hear screaming, and you hear the very, very telltale signs of combat. Kane, absolutely impossible to miss.
I mean, hearing what I assume is gunfire, I definitely would have told him to, like, hurry up or pick up pace a bit, so.
And now that you've heard that, you don't think anyone's going to care if you jump through the window, Kane?
I mean, I'm not going to go slow, but I'm not going to just, like, jump through the window.
Yeah, but you don't need to stealth, you don't need to sneak out. They are very well distracted. In fact, the people that were yelling at each other, now that you can overhear them much easier, they were clearly talking about something's happening. People are in danger, including us. Defend the bar with your honor. But you see folk running out, and Arbalest, you see some folk run by you as you hear this, effectively like a local shockwave, like a popping, and you swear the temperature rises ever so slightly, and then a moment later it drops. And then now at this point, you guys should all be on this map. Vega, you're going to be at the top there. And as you look around and enter this district of Barrowwain, you see that there are flying beasties everywhere. Some are on fire, some are surrounded by smoke, some have a thick, viscous liquid dripping off of them. But your allies are indeed to the south of where you are currently located.
Well, are there any civilians who are looking like they could use some help?
There are plenty. Currently, you see some are being defended, as this just kind of randomly happened. As you're looking, you have a pretty high vantage point here, Vega. You can see from across the way, from the southwest of where you're standing, you see various portals open and quickly close as these winged beasts flutter through them.
Wait, lots of little ones?
Lots of little ones, yeah. And then by this point, you would be out of the window, Kane, and you guys are in front of, if not close by, the front side of this establishment. And just north of where you all are seeing, two of these flamed winged beasts kind of jump out of this portal and begin to slowly move stage right.
I can't remember. Did we get a communication stone with Arthur?
I don't think so yet, but I think I talked about it.
Now would have been a great time to ask him about this.
Yeah.
This is fine.
All
We don't
right.
need him.
Just escalate.
I am gonna keep running to where I think they are.
Okay. You do indeed know they're south of here. From where you are, go ahead and move your max combat distance, and then you can pause there. Should be the end of that purple line. Yeah. Perfect. All right. And as you're running in, you guys are much closer. What are the two of you doing, Arbalest and Kane?
Looking down the street, see what the hell's happening.
Yep. You see.
Basically.
Yeah. You look down the street. You see that portal open. And these two flamey boys come on out.
Well, I assume those aren't supposed to be here.
No. Very much. 100% should not be here.
I hate that so much.
Yeah, it's a little goofy.
So cursed.
Yeah.
Do you think that one's cursed?
Oh no, I know it gets worse, but
I
still,
have more.
Like, it's such a strange combination of features.
It very much
Yeah.
is. I kind of like how goofy it looks.
So any idea what these things are? Without knowing that they're from the Fire Realm? Meta knowledge.
I might have read about them at some point.
Yeah, both of y'all can go ahead and roll Arcana for me.
Can I even? I'm not trained in it.
For
And
this,
I got it.
yeah. Oh, you did get it, 100%. Okay, you super got it. Holy
I don't
shit!
even bother then.
All right, excellent. Well, Kane, dispensing with the formalities, this thing is called a Mephit. Before moving into it, I'll just go ahead and say it is what you think it is. It is indeed a fire elemental, but there's something off about it. It's sort of twitching and moving in a very jagged and nonsensical manner. But they are moving towards the opposite end of this alleyway, and you can hear some shouting coming from the alleyway.
Wow.
Time to do my thing because I can, and
Now-
have a 8 for initiative.
Nice.
8, excellent.
Give me that good old 8.
Oh my god, I crit my initiative.
29.
That's never gonna happen ever again. All right. I will. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. I changed my spectral weapon.
What is it now?
Why say when you can show it?
I don't even want to say it. I don't know how to pronounce this.
It's a polearm. You can call it whatever you want.
Apparently, it's got a little bit of reach plus what, the trip feature?
Yes, trip is built into it, so you do have to draw it two-handed to actually use it.
Oh yeah, it's got a little hook on it.
Yep, it's got a hook on it. Essentially, we learned that you cannot grapple. I knew grapple, but apparently you can't shove or trip with a two-handed weapon. There are feats specifically for that. Or there are weapons like this one that have I think it's the trip tag that basically means even while wielding two-handed, such as you are, you can still trip people without basically putting the weapon away. It is slightly weaker, but, efficiency and all that. I'll let you ask one more question, Kane, because you did roll a crit on that. What else? What do you want to know specifically about this nasty boy?
I mean, what their worst save is, I guess. Pretty sure I already know what they're weak to.
Yes. So in terms of knowing what they're weak to, It's Pokemon. Very obvious. They
Yeah.
are clearly from the Flame realm. In terms
Oh my
of,
God, they're weak to ghost Pokemon.
I know, right? In terms of, aren't some fire Pokemon weak to rock for whatever reason? Or like ground?
I think it was Earth,
Yeah.
but not
I
rock.
thought
Yeah,
that was electric types were.
electrics is weak
Electric
to
is
ground.
Earth's weak.
Because you can
Ground,
ground electricity. Ah!
Oh, wait, that's why I hate it.
Yeah, that's the reason, I'm pretty
I
sure.
mean, steel is weak to fire. It makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there are some that really don't make sense.
Indeed. So as you draw, are you going ghost?
Yeah, I'm going ghost.
Okay, excellent. She has draw. How long does it last? A minute?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you do that, so because you did this and it does last a minute, we're going to stay in combat for the duration of what's going on, because you'll probably get more use out of it if that is indeed the case. So the extra thing I can tell you is, in terms of its weakest save, while they do look fast, they definitely look fast, you're fairly certain their bodies are quite frail. For this first turn, do you...
So fortitude saves.
Indeed. Yeah, side note, I'll probably answer questions like that. If you need me to be really specific, I'll just say fortitude, in case you didn't get it for whatever reason. But there's only 3, fortunately.
I'm more so like, they seem very fast, but they're frail. It's like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. So they're going to reflex. As this only is occurring, they don't really notice your group, and they seem to move slowly on over to these individuals. And as they do, you see a boy with a stick kind of move in the way of this older gentleman.
Stick's probably a bad idea against a fire elemental.
Not the
Yes,
best.
wood is weak to fire, yeah. This is Pokemon after all.
Indeed.
Luckily, kids can't die.
It's Skyrim rules.
Yep.
All right. He moves out, claws raking at the child, and he attempts to parry it, but it slashes along his arm, and you hear him cry out. Arbalist.
Flintmon, go.
Flintmon.
He's just going to stand there and be menacing, I guess. Arbalist can't shoot him from here, sadly. So instead, he's going to mark the other one and shoot him. Do we have our weapons drawn, or do we need to draw it?
You definitely have your weapons out, yeah. You guys had a second to prepare for them moving in.
Okay, so mark that guy and then shoot that guy.
Ooh, nice. Alrighty, your arrow goes soaring and strikes this creature as it screams, absolutely howls, and turns to look at your group that now mean the violence.
Oh, don't at me, bro. Definitely do not call my dog. Ignore the dog.
And as all that occurs, it indeed looks incredibly angry and attempts to, let's see. Well, he has shit movement, so he's going for Vega.
I thought it was
That's
incredibly fast, liar.
One would think.
Yeah.
Incredibly fast and
They're fast in short bursts. He dives for you, Vega. Ooh, spicy. Not spicy. And he'll attempt to strike at you 2 times. The first one striking for a total of 2 damage. The second one missing entirely as it just begins to like froth and foam at you. It's just like losing its mind. It is very, very close to death, clearly. It basically dragged its body towards you. Kane, as you see this little thing, not even fly, it literally just flings itself towards Vega. What do you do?
well, I'm not gonna be able to see the other one. Can I shoot it from here? I'm assuming I have line of sight here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, time to use the one spell I just got.
It's also ice element, isn't it? Ray of Frost, nice.
Yep, cold damage. Oh my
Yes.
god! All right, that's a crit.
Amount of
Obliterate the fall.
Show me the damage. All right, that's double that, which would have been a lot because he's definitely weak to
Nice.
it.
But nope.
But nope, as your beam of ice goes flying, Vega, after this thing strikes out at you, very pathetically, its second strike goes to reach out for you, and suddenly a beam of ice shoots from down south, striking this thing in the head, completely just deleting whatever was once there, and its body falls as it begins to turn to ash.
My friends are here.
And then I have movement to run here.
Alrighty, Vega, you see one more in the general area.
I can reach it from here, right?
Yeah, you have reach now.
If you have a reach weapon, yeah. And you're also flanking it.
Oh, yeah, with the commoner.
All right, you quickly move in and swing over Flint. Fortunately, he's not a very tall boy. And you do
It's a very
strike.
small boy, in fact.
Yeah, very small boy. You do strike at the creature, and while it's attempting to smack at the boy, he pushes it back with his sword, and you kind of whack it on the head. It turns around and screams at you.
Ooh, I like this reach.
Reach is very strong, yeah.
Alrighty, with 2 quick blows of your new weapon, Vega, you're able to fell this creature, and quickly looking around, your group can see that everything within this area is indeed gone. Dead. Deadle.
Did
D-E-D. Alright, so because you active...
Is
Yes?
there anywhere to hide?
There are plenty of places off the map, basically. Yes, you can see this kid is definitely wounded. They're definitely hurt. But the old man, turns. He's like, "Yeah, you fool! What are you doing?" As he kind of grabs onto the kid and he is trying to patch up his wounds. They look to you and they say, "Like, thank you, thank you, thank you." And you're seeing more.
Flint will offer one of his health potions to the kid.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So don't move from where you guys are because Vega activated her trap card that will expire in X number of rounds. So I'll have you guys move using your actual combat speed, trying to go where you're trying to go. So that way you might get some use out of that. Go ahead and subtract one of the potions from Flint's little backpack as he moves over to the boy and kind of motions for it. The kid looks kind of confused. He pulls one out and the old man says, "Oh yeah, go for it." And the kid goes, "Oh, okay, sweet." And with that, he takes a sip. And after a second, he looks more rejuvenated. He was kind of on the verge of passing out from what you could tell, Vega. And after he does that, Arbalest will just whip it back over to you, good sir.
Where's the closest one?
From what you guys can tell, yeah, the map is indeed quite large. There is one to the north on the bridge. And then there's some more from where you guys are. North.
You can see the ones across
west.
the way, right?
You guys can see effectively all of them. There are some on the roof here to the northwest where you guys are, and there are very clearly some on the bridge, and they have some people surrounded. There are other fights breaking out, of course, but in general for here, you guys can see that those are being taken care of. These are the ones that aren't currently being taken care of.
Well, luckily I have a lot of range, so I will reload, designate this one as my target. That's 2 actions, and then I'll shoot it.
Excellent. That is a hit. Spicy. Alrighty. Go ahead and add them to the combat tracker now. Alright, so basically you just got to blasting?
Yeah.
Alright, excellent.
I'm going to keep shooting them.
Perfect. Alright, you saw a very solid strike upon that one. It screams out as it begins to look around to see precisely where that came from, and it can indeed see your group. And as it does, rather than staying with the group it's currently with, you hear it sort of just scream, and it runs... let's see, from where it currently is, it's going to run, let's see, here. Oh my god, it really can't go that far. It's going to run and hide behind this building.
Really? Even though it's flying?
They have horrible movement. Yeah, all right.
I mean, usually flyers have baseline a lot of movement, but...
No, this game flying is very bad. They nerfed the shit out of it, so flying is not broken. All right, Kane.
Help. Everything is very far away.
Everything is indeed very far away.
Yes.
Can I jump over here?
You very much can. Yes.
I'll try to jump over here.
It'll take an effort. Roll me athletics.
Can't possibly mess this up.
Not with a crit. Holy shit! Yeah, you make it.
All right.
Jesus.
Jump over here and.
I mean, how far can you jump if you use athletics? It's like your roll, right? Plus 5, plus 10.
So there's no critical success, unfortunately. You strode 10 feet.
You just add feet for your roll, basically.
Yeah, you stride, so 2 actions. You stride, then make a horizontal leap, and attempt an athletics check the length of the jump, which is 25 feet, basically. Jesus.
Moving here was all I got. Good luck, friends.
Alrighty, as you begin to do that, Kane, and now that you're a bit closer, you can see one of the flamey boys on this roof is digging into and ripping out the tile shingles, and you can hear some screaming coming from that location. I won't have him do anything, but he'll get one step closer to his prey. And this one here, as it hears that all happening, you begin to move in. It sees one of the other ones shift about. It's going to start moving southward, and then seeing you, it's going to start moving towards you.
Ah, thanks. Now you're in my range.
All right, Vega.
I say, knowing I have 360 feet of range.
Okay.
I also want to jump over the water.
All right.
Share some range, please.
Sure.
Yeah,
right, this is where I would like to go.
All right, so first you stride. So this is normally 2 actions, but now it's just 1 action. And then now that's a very far jump, but you indeed can make it, and it's only for you 1 action.
It should only be
25 feet, looks like.
Should only be a DC 25.
Yeah, so that to make that, it's a DC 25. Alrighty, so before you make that roll, you obviously have the option to move southward first here and then jump. It's much closer. Jumping from where you are is basically 25 feet. It's a very, very far jump. So you need to roll a 25 athletics to get there. A normal leap means you would leap 10 feet land in the water, I believe. So if there's your second action, you can definitely make this jump. You already rolled a 16, you can easily make it. So you go ahead and move your character 15 feet forward, is where you would have landed. All right, so that would be your third action. All right, Turd Burglar is going to start moving for you guys. My God, they are so slow. This is kind of hilarious, actually. So while they do indeed have a fly speed, flying's a bit weird, one might say.
I need to come back. I want to shoot you. I want to shoot you.
Yeah.
I want to shoot you.
Honestly, it's going to stay. I didn't know his movement was that bad. All right, he's preparing something instead. Arliss, what are you doing?
That's cheating. Now I have to take another action to mark this one as my prey.
Hit the mark.
Yes. And now I'm going to use an action to reload again. And my last action is to shoot it. Surprise.
Very nice. 25.
That's a lot of 13s for me.
A lot of 13s. You strike this thing, and as it's moving in, your arrow just shoots right through it as it screams out, moving towards your group.
And that's it.
Alrighty. This boy on this roof is doing the exact same thing. It is beginning to dig into the shingles, and you can hear screaming. Kane.
Cool. I hate it. Can I see the one on the roof?
Not from this angle. It's on the downslope.
Well, unfortunate.
You might be able to see the other one.
You can definitely see the two fire ones, though, yeah.
Oh, then for this one, I will triple magic missile. My entire turn for magic missile.
My life for a magic missile. All right, all three of those bad boys at him?
Yep.
If you send one up, the other one is probably dead.
Already smacked in the face 3 times as it ceases its digging and turns towards your group.
All right, good luck, Vega.
All right, that is basically one action with his fly down, so now he's on the ground. And then 3 as it begins to fly towards you. All right, and this poor little angel that you shot in the face.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Things were not going very well for him.
In the arms of an angel.
It's going to move here and basically get behind the boat. Yeah, he's gonna take cover.
That's cheating.
How dare.
All right, Vega. The jump between this boat is small enough that you can just do it in, boop, just 5. You don't need to make a long jump. Oh! All right. As he's hunkering down, you just barely miss as he scoots off to the side.
I'm sorry, how does an 18 miss?
I mean, does he still have cover when she's on top of the boat?
So, this is definitely weird. He's hiding against it, and she's doing it from a distance, but she's still on top of the... I guess if you're on top of the cover...
Yeah. Like, cover is situational, right?
Yes. No, it's definitely situational. This is weird. I'll just say he doesn't. It misses, so go ahead and swing damage. All right, as you quickly jump...
Rule sliding doesn't help.
It's weird, unfortunately. Like,
Yeah.
he has it, but he doesn't, because she's doing it from far away. He's technically behind the boat, but she's on the boat. Also, the map isn't accurate, so it doesn't help. Anyway, you jump up on the boat, you swing your weapon down, and you just slice this thing in twain as Turboy falls to pieces.
And then I have one more action?
Indeed. So getting up there is 1 cube of rough terrain, so you can move 30 feet going up.
1 whole cube.
So right there?
Yep. Alrighty, where's Steamy Dreamy? Oh, you weren't close enough to trigger my trap card! Oh, he wasted his turn! Okay, that's fine. All right, but he will do his absolute damnedest to move towards you now and activate his less exciting but still somewhat trap card. All right, go ahead and roll me that reflex save, please and thank you. Hey, you got it! Alrighty. And... Oh, okay. He whips around the corner, takes a deep breath, and all this burning steam shoots out. You're able to react relatively quickly, Vega, and dodge a portion of it, and only take half the damage as burning steam rips up the side of your arm. Arbalest, this turd has revealed himself.
Can I see him, though?
Technically, no.
Well, that's just too...
I didn't realize how far south you were. I didn't zoom back out. Yeah.
Is it like I can't see him at all, or he has cover?
You can't see him at all.
Yeah, too bad. Well, I guess it's time for me to start jogging northwards then.
Fortunately, you have so much range that you don't need to cross the bridge.
Sadly, I don't have as much movement as them, though. 25. Now I should be able to see them, right?
Yes, definitely.
Or at least one of them.
Yeah.
I'll just target the first one.
Okay. Excellent. 20.
And that's it.
All right, it's definitely super dead, but he doesn't have the skull on him. I don't know why.
Yeah,
There
it's gonna-
it is. There it is. Okay, cool. It took a second to load, apparently. All right, your arrow goes hurling, and after this thing hurls on Vega, you shoot it right through the chest, and it falls over. Oh, dead. Alrighty, this other one continues digging on into this building, eventually gets in, and you hear it dive on down. More screaming comes from said building. Kane, what dost thou do?
Die.
Please don't.
I mean, you never know.
Preferably do not.
I guess.
I know you want to play a druid very badly, but this is not the way to do
What
it.
do you mean? Can I jump across here, or do I have to roll again?
You're good. It's a small jump. Baby jump.
I guess I'll just start blasting this boy then.
Sure.
I can throw like a rock or something at him. Yeah, I'm barely in range for telekinetic projectile. Time to throw a rock at him.
Oh, no. There's rocks, there's fish, there's baskets. You got options.
I didn't target him.
I think a
That's not enough
28.
to hurt.
28 is... Yes, that's actually a crit.
Rock dummy.
All right, rock hurls, crashes into this thing, and it just crumbles into itself after like screeching and clawing at nothing.
Just should have shot this fish at him.
Shot the fish out of nothing. That's all I got.
Fish do cold damage, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
All right, Vega, you see an
But the water
individual
plants-
to the north of you, just like screaming, thank you, as he begins running down this alleyway here, but you hear more screaming coming from the green building to your north.
Yes, someone's being viciously
Well, that's
mauled
where I'm
inside.
going.
That's fine.
Just burst through the wall.
Yes.
There is a door, and you move in. He would be there. As you move on in, you swing the door open quickly, and you see an older woman holding up a pan as this thing is scratching at the pan and just right about to break through it.
All right. So tell me, moving was 1. Was opening the door 2?
Yeah.
So swinging is 3.
Hitting. Definitely hitting. That animation looked like it hit the old lady.
That
Alright.
doesn't kill him.
While you do not down him, you do give him a nice smack. And as a follow-up, the old woman goes like, oh, and she whacks him right in the chest. And I guess now you're close enough, I can show you how goofy these ones look. It got titties, though.
It's a
Kinda.
girl.
Kind of sexy, honestly.
It kind of hot. It got a thick.
I love their wing veins.
Yeah. Very, very interesting design on that one. Oh, I haven't. Okay, you haven't run to the other one yet. Alrighty, Vega's inside trying to beat the shit out of this steam boy. Arbalest, what are you doing?
So, what are the chances that I have a shot at the one inside?
0.
Oh,
You have like a 0.5% chance to hit. Good luck.
I'll take it now. I'll just use all my actions to move, I guess.
Wait, I thought your range is insane. Aren't there some way off in the distance that you could start attacking?
Oh, yeah.
Measure stuff real quick.
I mean, you should move a little, but yeah.
I can technically hit all of them, yes.
Damn.
I do definitely need my hunter's mark for that, though, so might as well. I'll start shooting the northmost of me,
Oh, my God. Okay, are you marking it first?
because I have to. Otherwise, I take the -2 penalty.
Holy mother of God. How far is that from you? 220 feet. Oh, my God.
With my mark, I have a 360 feet range.
Yeah.
Not enough.
It has...
Clearly
the-
not enough.
yeah, it has light cover, but that's it.
Second action is reload. Third action is shoot.
Oh, no.
I shoot. Sadly, I missed. You know what? I'm going to reroll that because it's cool.
Oh, nice. All right, so 8 total damage. As from an absurd distance, you somehow strike this thing. And we'll go ahead and activate these fools. As you can see from the distance, there are 4 of them that have 2 people basically cornered on this rooftop here. On this bridge. And they're slowly moving towards them. They're kind of teasing them by shooting like gouts of fire and goop and other odd things. It's not very pretty.
Jump in the water.
Alrighty, as that's going on, little
I
shit
look yellow,
boy.
actually.
Little shit boy does not like you, Vega. How dare you be here? How dare you exist? Not a fan, I must say. I have 2 options. How close are you? 10 feet from me? Perfect.
Oh no, he's gonna breathe on the grammar.
All right, go and roll that reflex save for me. Hell yeah, Granny made it
Nice.
with a +3. All right, if you want to re-roll that, it will cut the damage in half, but you do not have to.
I'll
Is
take
Granny
it.
dead anyways?
You'll take it?
Just use Granny as cover.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, Granny is not dead, actually. She's very close to dead.
I mean, Granny is used to, burning her hands.
Yeah,
She knows.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. As the creature begins to chant and screech at you, you see the fog begin to like burl off its wings, begin to surround the two of you, and boiling rain begins to just flow down the small local area. It then let's see. You know what? It's just gonna chill here. Actually, doing its thing. It's gonna do it's gonna do a check on you. Actually, it's gonna do
On me?
a recall knowledge. No, I'm kidding.
Do I know Vega?
It's going to scream at you though for demoralize. And it's going to fail. All right, nothing happens. You're too tough. You're too strong, girl. All right, Kane, you know some shit's going on in there? You know some shit's going on to the north? You heard Arbalest fire, and you hear shouting coming from that direction. What's you doing?
Well, anything to the north is like 20 miles away, and it'll actually take me years to get there.
That's true.
I mean, if you take an entire turn to move, you can technically fire your frosting at them, right?
Well, it would be my turn to move then.
True. What else do you want to do?
Vega's got that. I guess I can use my turn to move.
Sadly, this is a very big map where I shine.
Here.
Excellent.
That's all I got. And I'm still too far. I'll have to move next turn too.
Well, you technically can see other individuals beginning to throw down and whatnot. So I'm not really going to move them too much and have them kill the NPCs, but they are indeed moving in and getting ready to do violence. Vega! It's hissing at you. It's very angry. What are you doing?
I'm going to schwack it.
Schwack it, please.
What, you're not going to hiss back?
Yeah, I'm totally going to hiss back. No, I was thinking I could actually hiss back at it.
Oh, like demoralize it?
Yeah,
You know it's close to dead, so you don't have to. You already hit it.
but I missed.
You did miss, yes. Are you trying to say you wanted to hiss first?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Hiss at it.
No.
Don't hiss at it.
All right, then don't.
Is that a
See,
reroll?
The hiss would have mattered.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, the hiss definitely would have mattered. But regardless, with a quick swing over the granny's head, after the boiling rain comes down on you, yes, you swing over and smack this thing. It goes flying to your right 10 feet, bouncing off a rack of fish and smashes to the ground.
All right, and then I will take Grandma's badly injured. Oh, I will give her one of my potions.
I will say, take that with a grain of salt. They don't have very much max HP. You don't have to give her a potion. They are expensive.
Are you sure?
She's less injured than the kid, yeah.
She'll heal.
All
Like, you
right.
can-
In that case, I would like to direct her outside.
I just did it because, that's what Arbalest would have done.
That's what heroes do.
I mean, if the grandma can't walk, it's kind of a problem.
She can. Also, the kid was literally like a smidgen from death, so.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, the grandmother seems to be better as she looks up and goes, "Oh, thank you very much. I've not seen one of those in quite some time, and I have better movement than them. That's embarrassing." As she does. Why? Okay, cool. She begins to move on outward as one does, slowly, but not so slow that you need to worry about her. And she goes the same direction the other guy did.
All right, go as fast as you can, Grandma.
She goes outside brandishing her pen. Now, where are they?
Ready for more combat?
Combat Granny.
All right, from what you can tell, Vega, the other building, whatever was digging into it, is killed already. So the person there is no longer screaming.
Then can I shout as I run by? Don't hide in there. Run to somewhere else.
Sure. You hear some shuffling about, and they most likely move southward to go out a window and escape.
All right, works for me. And then I have one more move, right?
You should, yeah. Smack one, move two.
Hi, Kane. Bye, Kane.
Bye.
All right, you guys are actually, if you're coming this way, you're actually going to come by some other enemies. You can see from this distance, Vega, they have your lobster shack held up.
No, not the lobster.
In fact, when you say that, you see a fallen lobster on the ground. Looks like someone's eating it. They were feared and dropped their lobster.
Gasp.
It is ruined. There's so much dirt on it. Literally the worst. All right, doing as you do, they are simply going to reposition to the best of their ability. All right, this one was actively shot, so he's going to
Yes, come over yonder, please.
take cover because he's a scared baby.
Little shit.
Not sure what's shooting him, but the bat hurt me. I don't like it.
So he's under full cover now, or half
Yeah.
cover?
Great cover.
Damn. Small little shit. Let's see, what are my odds of hitting? Not too bad, honestly. So I'll reload and shoot it.
Nice.
Now die, hopefully.
Ooh, spicy damage. All right. Right as it's taking cover, it is too enticed by the individuals in front of it, and you're able to just barely catch it as you pierce right through its wing, and it does like a fumble, and it just like lays flat, dead.
And I have one more action left, which I'm just going to use to move Flint.
Run, boy, run.
Oh, I had my thingy tool selected.
I too have run into that problem in the past. I was like, wow, I can't move my tokens. Oh, it's because I'm trying to measure, and I'm an idiot.
That should be it.
I've done that once or twice. You hear some skittering coming from up ahead, Vega, and then some movement.
Is this a different kind of skittering than the other, than the flying thing?
It's almost as if they're talking to each other. You're not entirely sure. All right, Kane.
I don't like it here.
As you're rushing down, you're seeing others taken down by various other clan members, and some people are, well equipped with pan and other things of that nature, and they're attempting to do their best to defend. But we know these are the major targets.
Ah, yes, pan. Well, I can shoot this guy, and that's about all I got.
I mean, it's frost damage.
I missed.
Oh, just barely, as it's kind of hiding up there. It jukes off to the side and barely gets out of the way.
Or did I miss?
Or did I? We rewind time and it said strike it dead center for 10 damage.
Do these guys have cold damage thingy? Yes, I do.
This boy here is indeed weak to cold. As you strike it, it seems to take more damage than anticipated and screams out, now turning attention to your group.
It's again a 13. Weird how that happens.
I'll flip him off from all the way over here.
You're not sure if it knows what that is, but it screams again. As more screaming is heard, boys are moving around. Things are happening. All right, Vega, round 7. This thing lasts till round 10, so you still have use. Okay, careful where you're running there. That is a stair set.
Kind of not near anything.
This is true.
There's one around the corner.
Oh, you're right.
You can get kind of close, and then remember, yellow is your second movement.
I mean, you have reach, so you should be able to make it.
You definitely can't hit it, but you can move and try fearing something. You can do something with your third action.
Is that close enough to fear?
I don't think there's a range penalty, so yeah.
No.
All right, target him and start gazing. Give him the stink eye. Oh my god.
Nice.
All right, what do you do and or say to this turd?
I'm just gonna run and scream.
All right, you whip around the corner and jump scare this thing, and it rolls backwards, very clearly intimidated by you. And now I can show you what it looks like. Hey!
Nasty.
It's Mr. Nose, how you doing?
I hate it.
Oh, God.
Absolutely horrible, I love it. All right, as you begin tossing shit towards their allies. Not a huge fan of that, miss. Please do not. Please don't. Thank you. Please and thank you, actually. Scoot over to here. And then 4 contiguous 5-foot squares. That is such a weird way to phrase that. So, to make this not absolutely horrible, all right, basically this whole area here is going to be greased up. Nice and greasy as it flies on over and just vomits this grease towards you, Vega, because he loves you so very much.
Vega's getting Nickelodeon oozed.
Exactly. All right, roll me. Roll me, reflex save.
Please select your token.
Oh my god. Absolutely annihilated it. Well, nothing's going to happen as you are indeed able to keep your balance, Vega. It is anticipating you to eat shit. You do not do this, and it looks incredibly frustrated.
while maintaining eye contact with the other one the entire time, dodges the slime.
That should increase its fright.
It's now frightened 3.
It's not doing so hot. You guys are definitely you're definitely doing, one might say. And looking at all this nonsense, this one's gonna fly over yonder and then plop itself down, so it's not flying anymore.
But why? You were such a nice, easy target.
Now that it can see you and you're meaning them violence, I keep forgetting this costs 3 actions. Beautiful. Oh, it even has a misty effect. That's adorable. Alrighty. The creature in front of you, Vega, standing on one of these light poles, begins to chant to itself in a language you do not understand, and suddenly, a cloud of mist is called forth, directly in front of you. All creatures within the mist become concealed, and all creatures outside the mist become concealed to the creatures within the mist. I can dismiss the cloud if I want, but I don't want it because I like it.
So if I'm in the mist with the creatures, can I see them or are they concealed?
If you are
They are
in,
concealed.
yeah, so he's currently inside the mist. You're outside, so he's concealed to you.
My question was if I'm in the mist with him.
They specifically worded it so yes. If you're inside the mist, you are concealed, and everything else is concealed.
Yes.
So he's literally just hiding there, but can't do anything.
No, you can shoot. You have to make a check to
Yeah.
attack a concealed creature. It's the same as the invisible kobold.
Pretty much. It's a DC 5 flat check.
All right.
I assume this guy is behind cover, right?
Yes, for you.
Yeah. And what about the flying guy behind him?
The fiery one?
Is he in the open air?
This one here, the flameo?
Yeah.
I would say regardless, because they are higher than you, but in a not great way because they're even with the bridge. You can see them, but they're going to have light cover, which is just +1.
You know what? That's not going to stop me. I'm going to shoot the one on the bridge.
The one standing on the bridge?
Pray him first, yes.
Okay.
Ta-da!
All right, that indeed hits 23.
Hey, look, it's 14 damage this time, not 13.
Nice. We're
That means
moving.
He probably has 1 health left, doesn't he?
We're slowly moving on up. He is no, he's a little healthier than that. He's doing a decent
Okay.
decent question mark.
And that's my turn again.
Alrighty, there's just a bunch of nasty boys here, just being nasty as one does, and they're gonna slowly move towards you, Vega. And you know what? They're gonna stand in that slop. I do like me some slop. All right, one of them greasy boys just slides on over to you after flying through the mist. And only has 1 action left, so he will strike at you with a big, nasty, sticky fist. Oh, it hits. Oh, it's so juicy. I'm sorry, Vega.
I hate it.
It begins to cackle to itself. All right, the one you feared, he's not, you know what? He's not digging this general situation. Just like as a person, he's not happy with what you decided to do. Let's be honest. What will he do, though? I have a lot of slime boys over here suddenly. You've aggroed all the slime boys, Vega. What are you gonna do about slime boys, huh?
I'm really not sure.
Just crit them.
Just crit them. This is a very good point. You know what? Like a dunce, he'll move towards you. Feeling
Like,
spurred on.
realistically, if you walk inside of the cloud as well, they can't really attack you.
This is true. Now, no one's in the cloud. The other one's yelling like, "You fool!" Except you can't understand it because he's stupid. Absolute buffoonery. And he will strike out at you. Ooh! Critically striking out at you, actually.
And
Despite
this is how Vega dies.
being frightened. No, actually. 10 damage is not that bad.
Lucky Vega.
So, because he is frightened, he maybe pulls his punch a wee bit because, man, Big Scary Lady is indeed just one of those, a big scary lady. And you parry off most the attack as the creature continues to cower with Frightened 1 because you critically succeeded. Kane, you see Slimy Boy is moving over to Vega. What do you do?
She'll be fine, right?
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Oh yeah, Toad.
Right? I don't need to come help, right?
No, you can do whatever you
I
want.
don't know. You should just go eat some lobster from the floor or something.
Yeah, floor lobster.
I was gonna do
Lobster
that.
from the
He can't take my lobster from the floor.
I mean, you're going to die anyway. so
Oh.
yeah.
I mean, damn. What if I scorching raid though?
Ooh.
The big one.
Doing the big boy.
Okay. Are you doing all 3 at the same one? Are you splitting?
I'm just gonna try to take one out, so I'll do all 3 at this one.
Sure. The one that's feared or the one that's not feared?
Is there a difference?
Very much so, yeah. Yeah, feared always gives you a better chance.
Okay, then I'll go for the feared one.
They get a -2 to everything.
Currently -1.
Oh,
Every-
right, that's right.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Every turn it goes down by 1. If something is feared, oh my god, where'd that other one go?
Oh, I still had him targeted.
All good, all good.
Damage.
Oh my god, wait, is that
Yeah.
1?
Wait,
Where the hell did that go?
do I only have to roll attack and damage once? If you spend more than 2 actions casting the spell, the damage increases to 46 on a hit.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay, so it's 46 per ray.
Holy shit, that's worth it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought the first one was 2d6 and then the rest were, oh my god, okay, yeah, go. Fire off, my friend. The first one. Oh no!
that's a crit. That's 8d6. Oof.
All right, that's 28 damage on the second one.
I think he's dead.
Completely annihilating it entirely. You got one more?
Yeah, I'm just gonna blast this other one.
Oh, my greasy children are getting annihilated.
The spell's a lot better than I thought it was.
It definitely is, yeah.
Alright, well, Vega, you'll be fine. Totally.
Thanks.
I can't move, it's all on you now.
I'm
Luck.
imagining the oozy boys literally bubbling up and exploding all over Vega.
Yes, that was most assuredly spicy. This one's going to move over yonder and land for the third action, so it's no longer flying. And yes, as you struck it one time, it turned to you, shaking and clearly cowering, Kane. And then with your second action, it stuck into its chest. Its whole body blows up like a balloon and just erupts, firing gunk everywhere. And after that one,
I'm over here.
Indeed, after that one moves, something's going to happen, and then we are going to pause. That something being, you guys hear what seems to be a shockwave or a boof, very bassy sound in the distance. And suddenly, Kane, you kind of hear like a whistling, like something ripping through the wind, the sky. And as that happens, the water splashes around near these boats here. And as it does, after you finish firing your death lasers, you see a tabaxi climb herself out as she leaps out of the water and lands on one of the boats, balancing. And then near you, Kane, the what was at one point an apple stand, suddenly something smashes into it, completely blowing it up. If there was anything resembling a stand there, it is now a crater.
No, not the apples.
The railing here is also now railed, if you will. And in said crater, as you see lightning arcing off from the center of this now hole, smoke swirling around the epicenter. You see a dwarf standing there, lightning arcing off his body, not paying any attention to you, but you almost felt as if this would have knocked you on your ass were he any closer, his attention purely on who you assume to be Six Iron Seers. And as this individual turns to you for a moment, his eyes glance across you, Kane, and he just turns right on back to her, paying you no mind whatsoever, but you can see a very wide smile across whom you all met earlier, Shura's face.
This is fine.